Furbush on the hill. He'll face off against Kumar Rocker. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame right here. Seattle Sports on 710. Just one game going on right now, and they are in a rain delay in New York in the bottom of the fifth. The Yankees with a 7-4 lead over the Rays. Other news in the world of baseball, the Astros on the verge of reacquiring Carlos Correa in a blockbuster deal with the Minnesota Twins. That according to Jeff Passan. Correa, who was Rookie of the Year and two-time All-Star with the Astros, waived his no-trade clause in order to make the deal happen.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Thursday to everybody out there on a perfect day for baseball, perfect day for the Mariners to be back in town and begin the crucial four-game series with the Texas Rangers. We're going to talk all about that. We'll talk some Seahawks as well. Boye Mafe, that conversation's happening at 3:30 today. You're going to want to tune in for that. We got our regular conversation with Charlie Furbush, who will join us in studio at 4 p.m. and spend the hour with us. And then the latest installment of the Raleigh Show coming up at 5 p.m. So a lot coming your way. Hang out. We got you covered on everything. You can text in throughout the show at 866-979-3776. Curious to get everybody's reaction, Mariner fan reaction to what they've done at this trade deadline, because I have to believe it's bigger than anybody anticipated, realistically. We were daydreaming about different scenarios, different players, and, well, what if they got this guy and that guy? And well, they actually did. They went out and got arguably the two most prominent bats that we knew were available. Now, the Correa deal that's going on with the Astros is a big deal, and we'll see when that's finalized. But he was not somebody that we were talking about. He was not somebody that was thought to be readily available. And the most prominent bat on the market was Geno Suarez.
Right.
But tons of, a bunch of teams interested, everybody making the play for him. The Mariners land him and Josh Naylor. You took their two corner infielders, and they are now part of your team, and you did not give up one of your top 100 prospects.
Yeah, it is incredible. I am just blown away by this because we've been talking about it. And it was like it's almost too good to be true that you get a guy that's familiar here. I love watching Geno play. He's got a great throwing arm. And then, just a bat. He's tied with Cal, and we have the two top players as far as RBIs go with 87. And, yeah, it's just it's fantastic that they were able to get that done just because it's been talked about for so long. I was like, it was one of those things too good to be true, probably not going to happen. And, yeah, now all of a sudden at the corners, you answered those questions, and it's just feels great, especially, hearing all of the reaction. And we'll hear from Cal Raleigh, but, that these guys feel like this team is investing in winning a championship. And that's the thing that, Cal Raleigh had been talking about for, since the end of last year.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that Geno will be in the lineup tonight from some sources there. So we'll see when that becomes official, but I'm expecting to see him in the lineup tonight, and I think it's going to be a huge boost to this, not just the product on the field, but we'll play Cal's comments in a moment, but I think he's incredibly popular in that clubhouse, or was incredibly popular, and will be once again, I would imagine. But it's just, look, I don't think there's anybody on this station that's been more critical of Jerry than I have. You got to tip your cap to him. I'm going to tip my tiny cap to him and Justin. Yeah. I mean, for them to go out and get Suarez, get Naylor, get a bullpen arm, and we'll see if they do anything else. There's less than an hour, 2:05, so the deadline is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. our time today. So we'll see what they get done if they do anything else. But for them to go out and get two corner infielders, and the two we were daydreaming about, like, man, if they could get both of them, how cool would that be? You got both of them, and you got your bullpen arm.
Yeah.
If you're like me, if you've been a critic of Jerry and Justin, I get it, and it's warranted in a lot of cases, but this is one where if you're being fair, you got to tip your cap and go, well done, man. They provided the pieces. Now This is on Dan. This is on the coaching staff and the players to get it done. There are no excuses.
Yeah, totally. I mean, because that's always we've said also that Jerry and Justin, they're also under constraints as far as financially, but ownership all in, and I mean, there's really nothing to complain about. So you're right. I hadn't thought of it that way, but now all of a sudden it's like, okay, there's probably going to be a little bit more scrutiny on the other players, stepping up, and Cal continuing to have the year that he's had, and then Dan Wilson and how he manages this whole thing. So
53 games left. You got 53 games left in the regular season to make it happen with this roster. So it's they gave you the tools, they gave you the ingredients. Yep. Now make the meal. So it's on there. I love it. I love it. I love what they did. I don't. Again, text in if you don't like it. I don't know what you would be disappointed in. If you are, curious to hear that. But I've got to imagine even the biggest critics out there of what this team has and has not done, of which I have been one. I put myself front and center on that. Got to tip the cap and go, well done, well done, and it puts it all in the lap of the players and the coaching staff to get this done. So, I was fired up when I saw this. I'm like, they got him. They got Geno, and then considering you didn't give up a single one of your top 100 prospects, you gave up your number 9 in Locklear, the only top 10 prospect as far as the organizational rankings. He was the only top 10 prospect they gave up.
Yeah. Well, and, we talked about him yesterday and that he, he was raking at AAA Tacoma. I mean, he was leading the team and, as far as games played, at bats, hits, home runs, stolen bases. Actually, he had 18. And so he's playing really well. But that's one where I'm like, if this guy does continue on this pace, Tyler Locklear, and let's say that, at some point he becomes like an all-star, won't care.
Yeah.
Really won't. I didn't think that they gave up any of those real flashy names like Senja or Celestin or
Ford or Montez or any of their prospects that are in, like, when you look at MLB Pipeline, you look at the national rankings. They didn't give up any of those.
Yeah. So I mean, and that the other thing I was looking at, and they had this stat on MLB Central this morning, but Geno, 166 games at T-Mobile Park. He's hit 29 home runs, 29 doubles. So good numbers there. And, I just feel like his bat goes wherever he goes. And, it's like I said, too good to be true.
Yeah. It's, again, text in 866-979-3776. Do you like the deals? Do you not like the deals? You address both corner spots of the infield. You address the bullpen, perhaps another arm. Well, again, we'll see what happens before the deadline if anything else happens. But I think you got to come away with this feeling extremely optimistic, excited, happy with what they've done. And now it falls into the player's lap, falls into the coaching staff's lap. And as much as you're excited about what it produces on the field, I think it's a big deal off the field. And you got your leader. Cal Raleigh is the leader of this team. I think Julio's still the face nationally, but the leader in that clubhouse, I think they defer to Cal. He's that voice. And here's what he said about the move and what it says about the front office's commitment to winning.
This is what we talked about in spring training when I was looking to sign here long term, and these were the things we talked about, these moments, and it makes me feel good about those guys following through, and we played good enough, not great, but good enough to make some moves in the deadline, and they came through for us. So it's on us now, and we have to go out there and perform. And I think with these two additions and hopefully maybe another one, or we got the Caleb Ferguson too. So who knows what else will happen, but it's been great so far.
Sounds like he's excited about Ferguson as well. But yeah, I mean that's exactly, he was the guy we heard from at the end of the year last year. And, that's, was part of the conversation, it sounded like, when he signed his long-term contract here. Yeah. That, are you guys all in? Because if you are, I am. Yeah. And, love that. I love that leadership. And, Cal, very quiet guy, but, he carries a lot of weight in this organization. So, and for him, I would expect him to continue to play really well and perform because – he got what he wanted, and it was kind of shocking to hear him last year be so blunt about it. And I thought, it was awesome that they put that kind of investment in him and then followed up. And it was something that at the time I was like, wow, Cal speaking up, that's pretty amazing. But it also tells you how much how they feel about Cal.
Yeah, he's
as if the $108 million wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think they expressed that financially, and I think they've made it clear that they love him. He talked about what this trade means for their chances in October.
I mean, I feel amazing. I felt good even going into today. But even better now that Geno's here, and it's no knock on any guys that are in the clubhouse right now. It's just how good Geno is and what he brings to the clubhouse and what he brings on the field every day and the consistency. So. I think anytime you can add somebody like that to your lineup, it's a good day. And like I said, we're thrilled to have him back, and I think it's going to take a lot of relief off some guys.
Yeah, I think it's huge, and this was cool. I don't know if you heard Shannon Dreyer, our Mariners insider, talking about the plane being delayed last night, and then trying to figure out why it's delayed. And on the plane comes Geno, and the reaction. This is cool. This tells you how this clubhouse and this team feels about him.
One of the neatest moments I have seen on the plane in my years in traveling with them. It was one of those, it could have been a tough flight. They lost a ball game. They had the night game before another game at home the next day, and they're deep in the 17th straight. When we got to the airport, we went through security, we got on the plane, and we were sitting for a little while. And it turns out that they were holding the plane for Geno and his family. And they didn't tell the players that's what they were doing. So after about a half an hour, all of a sudden it got a little bit loud at the front of the plane. Geno got on the plane, and you could hear the cheering. And then this was just the neatest thing, and it's so Geno Suarez. He proceeded to walk the entire length of the plane and hugged every person on it. When he got to Perry Hill, you could hear up front Perry just yell an emotional, "Stop it!" Which is what he yells when he sees the good play on the field. It was just the neatest moment to see him get on the plane. Spoke very briefly with him, and he just said, "I am so happy."
How about that?
That is so cool.
I mean, to get that reaction from the team, the guys on the plane had no idea, why are we being delayed? We're just sitting here. And then to hear them all of a sudden erupting in cheers in the front of the plane, and he hugs everybody in every seat all the way to the back of the plane.
And kudos to them for kind of keeping it quiet and making that like a special moment. And I mean, we had a chance to talk to Geno when he was here, and I didn't know what to expect at the time. And what you got was just like one of the sweetest people ever. And just a great guy. Everybody loves him. Does he have like 4 little girls or 3 little girls?
I'm not sure.
So it sounded like they were all on the plane as well. So, that's really a cool moment. I think it was 2019 where they delayed the game a little bit because there was a game on TV. It was the Niners, and the Niners ended up losing so the Seahawks could get into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And, they held the plane for a little while just so everybody could see the end of that game, and that's just one of those great moments that you create and, that you'll always think back on. So, that's really cool, and it seems like everybody's really happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, that should give, even if you look at this pessimistically, which I would question why you would, but if you do, look at the reaction of the players in that clubhouse. That is a big deal. It doesn't ensure victory. It doesn't guarantee anything. But man, the impact is right there when you see that reaction. And you've seen what he's done this season. He's not going to do it by himself. The rest of these guys have to hold up their end of the bargain. That's Cal. That's Julio. That's Arozarena. That's all the guys we talk about every day. But it's just the feeling that they get. First of all, having a guy that they absolutely respect and like and adore back on the team with them, a producer, and I think the message from management and ownership saying, hey, we're going for it. We believe in this team. We believe in their chance. There's a window here right now with the AL being what it is. We can win this division. We can make some noise in the postseason and maybe get to a World Series. I mean, it's all right there for them. And you got 53 games left to work with to make it happen.
Yeah.
So it's just, and by the way, in the corresponding move, Miles Mastroboni has been recalled from AAA Tacoma. Ben Williamson has been optioned to AAA Tacoma. Which, you know what, He's got nothing to hang his head about. He played tremendous defense, and you may take a bit of a step back there. He's a better defensive player than Suarez is.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the arm, but he's better in terms of his range.
Yeah.
So maybe take a bit of a step back there. But he showed his value. He's obviously got to work on his strength and his working with a little more production from that spot. But his future is bright if he can get that aspect of his game up to snuff. He's a heck of a player. He had a nice run here. So kudos to him for his time here, but he's been optioned to AAA Tacoma.
Yeah, I wonder what that was like for him.
He had to know this was, all the conversation about we got to address our corner spots. We got to address our – he heard that stuff. I can't imagine he's surprised. I'm sure he's bummed. Obviously, it's been a nice run. He's saved the game the other night. He had the game of his life, and he's being interviewed after the game, and Julio's walking into the interview and praising him, and he's got a lot of respect from those guys. So, yeah, I'm sure it's hard, but I don't imagine it's a surprise at all.
No, and it's going to give him a chance. I was trying to remember because Geno's 215, I think. Ben Williamson, he's listed at 210 anyway, but he knows what he needs to work on. Really, that's pretty much it.
I feel like Geno's bigger than that, but
you think?
I feel like he is. Yeah.
Yeah, but for him, that's really the only aspect of his game. You went from a 600 OPS to 800, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that he can work on in the offseason, and he was, great kid. I'm sure he'll handle it fine, but. Yeah, it kind of sucks for him, but that's all part of it. Growing up and becoming a veteran.
Yeah. So right now, this team is tied with Texas for that final wild card spot. They're 5 games behind the Astros in the West. They're 2.5 games back of the Yankees for that first wild card spot. They're 1.5 games behind the Red Sox for the second wild card spot. So that's been shifting every day. One day they own the second spot. Next day they're a half game back. That's how it's going to go throughout the rest of the season, you would imagine. But just to give you a sense of where they're at, they are tied for that third wild card spot with the Texas Rangers. So that's obviously puts a tremendous amount of importance on this series, this 4-game series that starts tonight. And a quick call it now question for everybody, not just us, but call it right now. Make your claim right now. Do the Mariners make the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. I think anything less will be a huge disappointment. They're
100%.
Built, yeah, they're built for it. Especially getting in the playoffs with the rotation they have, and hopefully that'll all come together. And and you got a chance to go head to head with the team that you're tied with in the wild card race with Texas. And I thought you were going to say how many games are they going to win out of this 4? But I think people are expecting to take the series, I would think.
Yeah.
Anything less would probably be a disappointment there. And then, especially going head-to-head with the team that you're in a tie with as far as the playoffs go. And, as far as the rest of the season, I think expectations are going to be very, very high.
Yeah, text it in, 866-979-3776. Make your call right now. Do the Mariners make the playoffs?
206 says, I can't lie, I cried last night in excitement.
I love it. I love it.
Can't wait to go to tonight's game and see him in an M's jersey again. And it's kind of funny because he'll look so familiar. You look at
that place is going to go nuts, by the way. As soon as he's announced.
But you look at Josh Naylor in that Mariner uniform, and it's still, you can't quite get used to it.
Yeah.
But Geno, he's going to look right at home, man.
Yeah, it's going to be that building is going to explode when he's announced, when he steps up to the plate. We'll see where he's at in the lineup, and that's, again, what I'm hearing is that he will be in the lineup tonight. But call it right now. Again, text it in, 866-979-3776. Do the Mariners make the playoffs? Yeah. I'm with you. I'm saying yes.
Yep.
Saying this is a playoff team. And this is – but now all of our focus should shift to the players and to Dan and that coaching staff because
they got to get it done.
Even the biggest critic, pessimistic person in the world, fan in the world, you got to tip your cap and say, hey, they went out and did it. They went out and got prominent player. They didn't go out and get the carcass of what used to be a good player. They went out and did it. So kudos to the Mariners front office, to Jerry, Justin, and ownership for making this move and going in on what feels like a very real opportunity. Make your call, Lefko. Did they make the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah?
They win the division.
Win the division?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going bold there.
Have you looked at the text line right now?
I haven't checked it out yet.
I've never seen so many people texting in. It's like every second it refreshes. And everybody is just fired up.
They on board?
And everybody says, yes, anything less than making the playoffs would be a disappointment.
I have the one negative one we can read later. Remember, I sent you guys that last night?
Oh.
I happened to be here doing postgame, and one text came in. And
is Wyman going to go to his house and
I think so.
set a car
We'll
on
have to bring
fire
that up
or
a little
something?
bit
There was
later.
some sort of deal with fire and cars. I don't remember. That's right. All right. In the meantime, let's take two.
A ton of baseball news happening with the trade deadline at 3 o'clock today, so we'll update you on all of that. But there was some Seahawks news that came out this morning that Charles Cross had surgery yesterday to repair a dislocated ring finger on his right hand. Mike McDonald said he'll miss multiple weeks, but he will be ready for the season opener.
Ooh, that's not good. I last saw him out there chugging Gatorades with somebody else. They were looked like they were having a competition.
Oh, yeah. Gray Zabel. Yeah.
Was it Gray Zabel?
Yeah.
It looked like they were competing, right?
They did that Tuesday, and I guess this happened Wednesday, the surgery.
Oh, wow.
I got to say, I've never heard of surgery for a dislocated finger. Never heard of that before, but
What if it did something to a tendon or who knows? That's not good, but good that he'll be back for the season opener.
Yeah.
We don't worry about him, right? I mean, yeah, it is a new line, new coach. It is a new offense, but I've got faith he'll be just fine.
Well, and I think Abe Lucas is probably the most spectacular player on that offensive line, but the one that you just count on and is solid as a rock, Charles Cross.
Well, there are a lot of trades that have happened, and they will become final before 3 o'clock or shortly after. But this was a big one, has some implications for the division. The Astros have traded for Carlos Correa. They have brought him back to Houston. No return yet out there, but Correa, another booable Astro, back on the team.
Right, that's true. Another member of the cheating squad who was part of that. And complaining about the conversation. So, yeah, it's good to have him back in the fire again.
Yeah, and I guess, the way it went down, because Paredes, I guess, is out for the rest of the year. It's like 7 months for him is the number I saw. So he's not going to be back this year for sure. And then, somebody tweeted out that Correa would, be comfortable with waiving the no-trade clause.
Yeah, I saw a thing on MLB where he said that was the only team he'd waive it for, was to go back to the Astros.
Right, and I was just wondering, I wonder what would have happened if they hadn't got it done. How do his teammates feel about him? But he's not played one game at third base, and 1,192 at shortstop, so
hopefully it's a big problem for him and he's just booting the ball all over the place.
It's just more people to boo at.
Oh, yeah.
That.
Yeah.
You got one back that is very, as Mike said, booable.
He is. He's a very prominent figure in that whole cheating scandal, and he's back, so where he belongs, amongst the muck. All right, Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Coming up, last night highlighted one question about the Mariners down the stretch. We're going to get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
With another monster move on the eve of baseball's trade deadline.
The pitch to Geno. Swung on. A rocket to left field. Walk it off, Geno! Geno Suarez, the Mariner.
It's crystal clear. The Mariners are all in. Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Do you know how America became the best country on God's green earth? We made things, from automobiles to airplanes to textiles. We were the manufacturing epicenter of the world, the innovators that every other country turned to. I'm Katie Lyon, co-founder of Allegiance Flag Supply, and I'm here to tell you that the American spirit is alive and well at Allegiance, where we make American flags 100% in America. When you fly your American flag from Allegiance Flag Supply, you're not just honoring our country, you're supporting American men and women who proudly make the highest quality American flags, period. True patriots who put care into every stitch. See our full story at showallegiance.com and learn about our 100% American-based supply chain. Fly your flag from showallegiance.com with pride, because every flag says manufacturing is still alive and well in the U.S. and we are still the greatest country. Save $35 on your American flag set when you go to showallegiance.com.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. Not a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-266-3845. Again, that's 800-266-3845. 800-266-3845.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. Texts are rolling in, Dave.
You found one?
Found one. There's a lot of positivity. 360 said, I said in an earlier text this past spring they would win the division, sticking with that all the way. Followed by one that said, get ready to be disappointed. That's all they said.
That sounds like Doomsday Dave there.
Yeah. There was no explanation. Wow. No, well, they're not going to be good because of this, that. Just get ready to be. Okay, you be ready. You sound like you're ready.
Is it a 425? What's the area?
It is 425, yeah. Gary in Federal Way says, mega kudos to the front office. And yes, the Mariners will make the playoffs. 206, 47 years of heartbreak. This is our year. Thank you, Stanton, Jerry, Justin, for going all in.
Yeah.
How about that? This is Jeremy in the 253. Love the trades at the deadline. Problem is, team's super inconsistent. We have nobody. Okay, they're a little negative. Great to have Geno back, but unless they find some consistency throughout their team, they're not going to the playoffs. All right.
Hey, what would be the ramifications if we were to read this person's phone number on the air and have everybody text him
That's
directly?
called doxing, Dave, and it's frowned upon.
That could be a problem.
You read the area code.
Yeah, we always do the area code, no question.
Yeah.
But,
love the moves, but our pitching still needs help. All right. Another one just says, in all caps, World Series, baby. All right. I like the excitement. Look, the other teams are making moves. Obviously, Correa going to the Astros. Merrill Kelly has just been traded to the Rangers from the Diamondbacks, so the Rangers making a move. So it's not going to be easy, but it's you like your chances much more than prior to these moves, don't you?
Yeah, no question. But, yeah. You sure about that, Mike? You sure that's illegal? That we can't do that? Just sick them.
Yeah, I don't. That would be poorly received, Dave.
Yes,
that would be
yes,
poorly received. But how do you feel about the pitching on this team right now? The rotation and the bullpen. Where are you at with that? Where's your level of concern, excitement, optimism, pessimism? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, I was looking at M's pitching numbers yesterday, and so these are as of yesterday, and I'd like to see the numbers a little bit better. I mean, really, they're kind of middle of the road, and I think if you average out, and obviously I'm picking and choosing, but I'm looking at the offense. The offense has they're number 5 in home runs, Cal, 149. They're number 11 in OPS, number 12 in runs. So, I mean, those are all sort of, that's what we asked for, right? Mm-hmm. If the offense can do that. But if you look at some of the numbers, ERA, they're number 13, 3.87. Quality starts, they're number 12. Home runs, number 16. Strikeouts, number 13. So, middle of the road pitching numbers, those stats, not every one of them, but there were like 6 of them that might be the same one. Opponent batting average, they were number 1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I think that it's going to start to come together. But right now, if you look at it's pretty average what they're doing as far as how the numbers have shaken out. Obviously, you've gotten some great performances, and then some really bad ones. But we know what their potential is. They just haven't really gotten there, and it's pretty far into the season right now to be having those middling numbers. So that part concerns me a lot, just because that's how this team is built, really, and it's built for the playoffs. And right now, just the way that they're pitching, I mean, you just had very up and down performances, like last night from Brian Wu.
Yeah, I'm done looking at last year's numbers. They're not going to do anything like that. So those numbers those were fun, but we got to deal with who they are now. And all it does is make me feel worse about what they're not doing. And they can get back to a respectable area, and they're still the upper half. They're not below 15 there, but yeah, there's more talent there. And I don't know what goes on. I feel like we've seen it with every pitcher in this rotation, where they get off to this great start, and then something happens and the wheels completely come off. And I don't understand what that trend is about, because it's not unique to one guy.
It's happened to pretty much every pitcher, as you said.
Yeah.
They're just plugging along, and then all of a sudden,
when you had 3 that were working with a no-hitter, you had Kirby, you had Logan, and you had Wu. I think Wu took it into the 8th. But yeah, you had all guys working with no hitters at one point, and then especially in the case of Logan and Kirby, it just went the other way really quickly. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening there. They're capable of more. They need to be capable of more. You got to do more. And look, maybe the extra offensive boost will take some of the pressure off.
Yeah.
Maybe there's that feeling of even subconsciously, I can't walk anybody. I can't try to get guys to chase, and they're leaving things out over the plate. Which is what Wu was just center cut fastballs. I mean, just laying it in there. Like if you ask the hitter, where would you like me to throw the ball? That's where. I mean, it was just on a tee for him. Gave up 4 home runs in that game last night. So that was not prime Wu by any stretch. Not a good game. 4 home runs were the most he's allowed in a game since 2023. So that was not what you needed out of him. Was not a good outing. To his credit, he gutted it out to take some heat off the bullpen. He gives you 6 1/3, but it wasn't a good night for him. He had 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have it.
Yeah,
can't have it. You got precious few games. These games are going to go by quickly. They're going to go by very quickly.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit discouraging, but I think. As bad as that has been, and like you said, it seems like it happens. It's not gradually. It's just all of a sudden, like this inning, 6th inning, and just the wheels come off. But I feel like we know that they have that potential, and that's why I was mentioning those numbers. They're not going to get back to that, but they have the potential to be that, and it's the same lineup. I mean, short of not having Bryce Miller out there,
right?
But yeah, I mean, and we always talk about like the bullpen as well, that they always find a way to fix things. So hopefully this, not second half, but last few games. What did you say there is?
53.
53 left.
Yep.
That they start to, because we know that they have the potential to do that, and to have those kinds of numbers. And I'll be interested to see, from here on out, after the All-Star break, where they rank with those numbers, because they have it in them. No question about it as far as the pitching staff goes.
Yeah, it's they've got to step up. I don't expect a match of last year, but they just need to be more consistent. And when you're out there dealing and you've got a lead, you got to make it count. And hopefully again this offense will provide more slack, more room for error. And because the offense has not been good. They did hit some home runs late yesterday. I mean, they had. Was it the 6th inning? I think they had 2 hits in the game going into the 6th inning.
Both were in the first inning.
Yeah, Julio hits a home run, which that part is great to see. He looks like he's starting to find it, hit another home run. But, yeah, the entire team, 2 hits going into the 6th inning. You're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And then they launched a couple and made it exciting, but unfortunately lose the series. But I think the Geno news kind of washed all of that away. You kind of just – I forgot about it because as I'm watching the game, I'm in there wringing my hands and son of a blah, 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 getting upset about it. And then the Geno news happens and they're like, all is right with the world.
Yeah, I don't think there's many people that don't like the move. Somebody was saying that, be prepared to be disappointed. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. By the way, I was looking at, they had 14 so far. They've had 14 one-run losses. What do you think that this accounts for? Like how many of those games, if you have Geno and Naylor going, I wonder how many of those 14 do you think and that's a lot of pressure to put on those guys, but how many do you think that they would have had, with those guys?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, do they give you 5 more wins, 4 more wins? Would you say 14?
Yeah, I would say 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, it's a difference. This offense has gone dead a number of times. We've talked about it, So this is more than the obvious of what Geno brings and what Naylor brings to the team on the field. I just love hearing the reaction from Cal. I love hearing about him getting on the plane and the team erupting and just that goes a long way, man. That goes a long way into lifting spirits. Not that they were down or anything, but. Just a different sense of confidence and a different message from the front office that, hey, we believe in you. We are giving you the tools now.
All right.
So this isn't, hey, we tried to be cheap and, this guy used to be good and we think there's something left. No, They went for the big names out there that were known to be available. So, reminder, we do want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks host the Chiefs on Friday, August 15th. And all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app. It's just that easy. Click the Win tab. You can find out how. Now, if you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you the link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Meanwhile, the trade deadline delivered a couple of bombshells today, including one that has major implications for the Mariners. We'll get into that next with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
All together now.
Hey, Eugenio!
They acquire now the best bat available in Geno Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes, indeed.
Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife. We had Andy Ryder. He's the mayor of Lacey, and he's also a Swedish Cyberknife patient. We had him and Dr. Landis from Swedish Cyberknife in studio a few weeks ago, and a couple of things that really stood out about Swedish Cyberknife. The treatment, number one. I mean, it only takes 5 sessions. Andy was able to complete treatment in 1 week, Monday through Friday, while continuing to work full-time, and each treatment session lasts less than an hour. He was able to remain comfortable during the treatment. You can wear your street clothes in, didn't experience many side effects other than just being a little bit tired. But if you compare that with other treatment methods for prostate cancer where you have to have surgery or catheter, I mean, it is night and day. Also, it was really cool to see the relationship between Andy and Dr. Landis. Andy holds him in very high regard, and rightfully so. Dr. Landis is a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we talk about building a sports team and trying to find superstars. Swedish Cyberknife truly has that. It's an all-pro roster of doctors and world-renowned experts in their field, just like Dr. Landis. And Swedish Cyberknife treats patients from all over the state. And you don't need a physician referral. You can reach out to them directly. So if you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain. DayandNight.net. You got a pipe with a leak, water's reaching its peak. DayandNight.net. Your old water heater, she's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. The throne's not too well, and ooh, does it smell? DayandNight.net.
Have a clogged drain, water heater issue, or plumbing repair, and wish you could get a second opinion? Maybe it's sticker shock, or you'd like to know your options. Hi, I'm Bruce, General Manager of Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Don't feel trapped. Do the smart thing and get a second opinion. Day and Night will provide you with a fair and honest quote, explain all your options, and help you with the right solution. Give us a call or visit dayandnight.net. I guarantee you, whether Day and Night is your first choice or smart second opinion, we'll work harder than anyone to earn your trust.
DayandNight.net. Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at winning 4 tickets to see the Seattle Seahawks host the Kansas City Chiefs on August 15th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 30th through August 4th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The Grammy-nominated voice that's touched millions with songs that define love is coming to Muckleshoot Event Center. Brian McKnight. One night, one voice, one memory that will last a lifetime. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Brian McKnight. Thursday, August 7th. Only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Overburdened with a bunch of stuff you don't want anymore, but feel bad throwing it away? John here with Happy Hauler, Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We prioritize donating and recycling. We'll help get your items to those in need instead of going to the landfill. At Happy Hauler, we pride ourselves on responsibility, community, and sustainability. We're a family-run small business that provides junk removal, donations, and recycling. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. It's time to reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. You guys can weigh in on the Mariners. Are you optimistic? Are you excited? Are you fired up? Are you tipping your cap to the front office and the people you normally rip? And Jerry and Justin, are you going to give them this moment and say, hey, well done. Well done.
What do you think changed as far as the philosophy there? Because
I think they see a down AL and feel like it's there to be had. There isn't a dominant team in the American League. There just isn't.
Well, and the other thing we always thought that it would provide that kind of urgency is that you've got your starting rotation that are going to be on their rookie deals. You're not going to have to pay them the big money for a while, but that's coming.
Yeah,
and that sense of urgency, I think, was a lot of what the fans were pissed about, that they weren't making big moves. But, you look at the AL, and it's kind of up for grabs.
It's there to be had.
Yeah.
It's there to be had. And in the grand scheme of things, the Mariners to this point, I think, have taken on a little under $10 million in salary. So, I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not when you're a billionaire. When you're a billionaire, you got to, I think it's fine. I don't think it's a big stretch financially for them at this point. But look, they made the moves and they deserve the credit, and it puts all of the focus, in my opinion, solely on the manager and Dan Wilson, the coaching staff, and Edgar and Seitzer and everybody else that's part of it, and the players more specifically. It's you got the tools. They did their part. Now it's up to you to make it count, because the other part is the teams around them. We talked about this. The Astros making that trade for Carlos Correa. In case you're just tuning in and you missed that, he is on his way back to Houston. He waived his no trade. He made it very clear the only team he would waive his no trade for would be the Astros. So if anybody was out there going, well, how come the Mariners didn't go after him? Well, he verbalized it. The only team that I would waive it for was
Which
Houston.
makes him even more booable.
Oh, yeah.
And hateable.
Yeah, and he's the one that was whining about, having to hear about all the cheating, and that's when there were no fans.
Yeah.
That was during the pandemic season. He was like, all right, enough already. So, yeah, he's giving you a lot of reason to dislike him.
I was surprised to see, they're saying because Paredes pulled his hamstring.
Yeah.
And he's played 1,200 games roughly at shortstop and 0 at third base.
I hope it's an awful transition for him. I hope he just struggles.
Well, every once in a while you'll see like somebody, because didn't Geno go back and forth a little bit from shortstop to third?
I think he did in Cincinnati when we talked to the beat reporter. He did not fill us full of confidence.
Right.
Yeah, he was saying he gained some weight, his range is gone, he's made some errors, blah, blah, blah. And it was not a rave review. I remember that clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as Correa's adjustment to third, I don't know. We'll see. I hope it's really hard.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope he really has trouble with it.
Well, and it just sucks that they continue to find ways to win.
Yeah.
And as I say that, the 360 says blank the Astros.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They're getting the trash can band back together.
Yes.
But yeah, it's hopefully that does not work out for him, because like I said, typically you'd see 15 or 20 or maybe 30 games at third base.
Yeah.
0.
Good. Let's hope it's rough. So the Astros pick up Correa. Rangers traded for Arizona starter Merrill Kelly. Padres made a big move today. They traded for both Mason Miller, closer for the A's, who did not appear against the Mariners. I remember they were talking last night. They were asking Kotze, how come you didn't bring him into the game? And he just said he was not available.
Yeah.
Which at that point everybody knew he was going to be traded. We had been hearing about the Padres. I'd been hearing, I either heard it or read it, that they want him to be a starter again. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because he's one of the most dominant closers in the game. He's thrown triple digits repeatedly, but they traded both Mason Miller and J.P. Sears. The A's, number 3 prospect in all of baseball comes back to him.
Yeah, the shortstop, Leo DeVries, I think. Is that how you say it? Yeah, he's one of the highest ranked prospects to be traded in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to 2016, Moncada, the shortstop, was the number 1 prospect. So second highest, I guess, in MLB history as far as, that ranking goes. So big move.
Yeah. The Cubs have traded for Willie Castro. That was a name that was rumored to be going potentially here, landing here. And that's one I was like, not excited about that. I don't know. He was, to me, a version of Dylan Moore. Guy doesn't have a ton of pop. He's got career high 12 home runs in his career and plays all positions. I mean, he's useful in that sense. If you don't have a utility guy, then I get it. But for what the Mariners needed, that one didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. By the way, some of the top prospects that have been involved in trades, Dansby Swanson, he was number 10. Some of these recognizable, Eloy Jimenez, Trevor Bauer. Also, Mabin. So, the big move for the Padres, trading away DeVries.
Yeah, they're going for it there. So it's Mason Miller and J.P. Sears move on. And also Phillies yesterday, we talked about that. They go get Johan Duran. Mariners will play against the Philadelphia Phillies in mid to late August, 18th there. So, teams making moves. We'll see how it goes. We got, I guess, officially, about 6 minutes and 15 seconds left for the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So we'll see what gets announced after that. But it did get active. We talked about it yesterday, and the numbers, being compared to what it is the day before versus the day of, and how those numbers grew. So still good on the Mariners, man. Good on the Mariners.
Glad.
Love it. All right, coming up, the Seahawks defense might be the biggest key to helping their own offense succeed early in the season. Explain what that's about. Coming up next with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
All together now.
Hey, Eugenio!
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes, indeed.
Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Bump letting you know the Employee Pricing Plus event is on at West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. The 2025 Ram 2500 is a beast with class-leading torque and towing. But don't sleep on the new grille, LED lights, and tech upgrades. On sale now for $9,000 off MSRP. Subject to credit approval. Offer ends July 31st. West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, part of the Hazelwood Auto Group.
Hazelwood has it!
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at Seahawks.com/pro shop.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at PCFgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shea.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Lots of moves happening as the trade deadline is officially here. The deadline is here. So a lot of moves being reported as we speak. Obviously, we know what the Mariners did in acquiring Geno Suarez last night. He will be in the lineup, I'm being told, tonight. So going to be a lot of fun to see him out there when they take on the Rangers. Game 1 of a 4-game series, a crucial series. Mariners tied with the Rangers in the AL West, tied with them for that third wild card spot. So Game 1 coming your way tonight. You can catch all of it starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Some other moves, according to Jeff Passan, tweeting this out. New York Yankees acquiring shortstop and Dave Wyman favorite Jose Caballero from the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays are acquiring Adrian Hauser from the White Sox. Reliever Phil Matan is going to the Texas Rangers from the St. Louis Cardinals. Boston Red Sox are acquiring right-hander Dustin May from the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Kansas City Royals are picking up lefty Bailey Falter from the Pittsburgh Pirates. All of that according to ESPN's Jeff Passan.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Yankees.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Text line is there for you, 866-979-3776. Feel free to weigh in on the Mariners, your level of optimism. We asked the question earlier in case you're just tuning in. Make your call right now. Are the Mariners making it to the playoffs? Are they a playoff team, yes or no? So put it in there, text it in. We're going to have it on record so you can't come back and say, I told you they wouldn't make it, when we can look back and see, oh, this person said they did. Think they'd make it.
Yeah, we can check that, by the way.
Yeah, we can see all of your previous texts.
Yeah, for those of you that go back and forth.
Like to change history there.
That's right.
So we'll talk more about that. The deadline is officially here. So the trade deadline has officially been reached, and we'll keep you up to date on any other deals that are being announced that we have yet to hear from. Meanwhile, Seahawks defense is a huge key to this team this year, to say the very least. They were amongst the best in all of football in the second half of last year, top 5 in a lot of categories, and I think we all expect them to hit the ground running. And it puts pressure on the defense to be good early when you look at an offense that may struggle, maybe not struggle, maybe it just takes them a bit to find their rhythm with everything that's new, all the pieces that are new, the system that's new. And Albert Breer was on with Brock and Salk, and he was asked if the Seahawks invested enough on the O-line, and explains that it's also on the defense, as he sees it, to help dictate the game.
I think a lot of it, it's in a weird way, I think a lot of it relates to the defense and the terms you're playing games on, right? Like, so I think you got like backs that can get it done. I think you've got, quarterback who can move. And I think if you're able to play, I think having a really good defense is going to allow you to play games on your terms, right? Like, to your point, if you're in third and 8 a lot, well, sometimes that can be a function of, like, are you behind, right? Like, if you have a couple tough series to start a game, is it now is it 10-0? And if it's 10-0, do you have to play the game differently so you can't keep investing into the run game?
Yeah, that gave me some comfort to hear what he was talking about, just the situational football there, Bob, is that, if it's 10-0 or you're down by, 2 or 3 touchdowns, now all of a sudden it kind of changes how you call the offense, how you call plays. And it gave me a lot of comfort just knowing that this defense, again, finished top 1 or 2. They were number 1 in scoring or yards. No, number 2 in yards and number 3 in points scored. If you take the last 8 games and put them, against, what they did at the end of the year, the last 8 games. So it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable that your defense is really gonna help out the offense and hopefully keep them in games.
Yeah, and I don't think he's saying anything that anybody's going, whoa, can't imagine that. We're all counting on the defense. We all expect that the defense will start fast, that there's not really a ramp up for that side of the ball because there's very little change on that side of the ball. It's McDonald's defense. The personnel is essentially the same. Yeah, you got a couple new pieces here and there, but it's basically the same group. Yeah. The upside is guys there from the beginning of the year like Ernest Jones. Being and Tyrese Knight with a year under his belt and that level of confidence. And hopefully Byron Murphy taking that step from being a rookie. So everything's just nothing's a certainty, but it feels about as certain as you can get on that side of the ball. Whereas on the offense, we all you have different expectations. You expect that they might get off to a quicker start than the rest of us do. And I hope you're right. That would be amazing. But you do have a defense that can pick up that slack. And Breer talking here about how much McDonald's defense helped the offense back in Baltimore.
Beginning, it's not that way anymore, but at the beginning, they were more or less running like a service academy offense, with Lamar. And the bet there was, okay, you're putting, you're building to play against Patrick Mahomes in the AFC, and you're putting 215-pound linebackers on the field, and you're putting 190-pound safeties in the field. Yep. And you know what? We're coming right at you. And now they've got like a 260-pound robot at running back to do it, in Baltimore. So I think that, again, that's another thing when Mike McDonald's roots were, okay, like this is where the league is going. This is where our competition is going. We're going to go over there.
Yeah, it's interesting, the corner situation. That's going to be pretty key as far as that goes. But other than that, really, you look at DeMarcus Lawrence is a new guy. Even Worry, those are two guys that I expect to have a huge effect on this defense. Yeah. And, he's a rookie. So, I think for the most part, other than that corner situation, and I feel pretty good I feel better about the depth at inside linebacker than I did before, just watching Patrick O'Connell out there, and then Drake Thomas a little bit. They both have looked really good. So, yeah, I think that they're pretty much set. And like you said, they pretty much have the same guys, right? It's pretty much the same defense almost at every position. Yeah.
Looking at the other side with the O-line. The O-line obviously going into the offseason was the biggest concern. That was the consensus, which there rarely is ever a consensus on anything. But that was it. It was like, you got to get the O-line fixed. We got to figure out what's going on there. They draft Gray Zabel. They bring in a new offensive coordinator, a new O-line coach. We're watching them out there. Obviously not a ton of hitting, especially yesterday. But, they look to be going in the right direction and maybe a system that favors the personnel that they have in a much better way than they had last year with Grubb. Yeah. And, it's just – Lefko asked the question, what are some of the reasons you think the O-line will be better than it was last year? I think it couldn't get much worse. I think they were really bad last year. Yeah. And I'm buying into this system. I'm buying into Kubiak's experience, and I'm buying into the fact that they're going to look at what this group does well and try to accentuate that rather than asking them to do things. They're not great at it, but hopefully they'll get better because this is what I want to do. Well, no, I think they're going to lean heavily on what are the strengths of these guys. How do we capitalize on that? And I just believe they're going to put them in a better position to succeed.
Yeah, I think, just the offensive scheme itself, and it's proven. That's the one thing. You had last year a guy come from the college ranks, and you pointed out that, usually they become running back coaches if you're offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. And, it didn't make sense to a lot of those guys on the line. We heard more and more of that, sort of the complaining about, like, what are we running here? What are we doing? What are we trying to do? Like, even as an offensive lineman, you need to know that there's a plan. Yeah. That, hey, we're trying to set this up. And then also you got to help them out a little bit. And, they have a lot of move in the pocket type of thing as far as minimizing pressure on the quarterback and then just, a plan. Now, look, it doesn't always play out exactly the way that you want, but it's better than just picking and choosing plays from here and there. And that's probably an exaggeration about Ryan Grubb, but it sort of seemed like that was the case. I remember Rabel and I just a couple times during the breaks be looking at each other like, what are they doing? What are they trying to do here?
Never know what they're doing out there. Yeah, it's. I think there's going to be just more certainty and continuity there.
Yeah.
Whereas it seemed like, and we, I guess it's easy to hear in the aftermath, but we're hearing it more that there was just confusion and guys questioning, why are we doing this, why not that, and how come they've got this here instead of this, and just there didn't seem to be a ton of belief, I guess, in whatever the message was. It didn't seem to be. It wasn't sticking.
Yeah, well, and then there was just a number of times where it was just like, and I was all for it. At least they knew. I mean, they had games, 10, 12 games in where they could run the heck out of the ball, but then at some point in a lot of the games last year, they just had to stop. We just can't run the ball. So. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that is scheme as well. And I think that outside run zone really works, and I think it's tough on linebackers. I think it really stretches the gaps and then also sets up play action really well. So I think this is one where, and you hear from a lot of people that, coaches and the offensive line and just in general about how much more sense this makes to them. And that's the thing as a player. You want to know why. Why are we doing this? Now, sometimes it's like, just do it, okay? This is what we're trying to get done. But a lot of times it's like, hey, you got to get your guys invested and believe in this thing. And there really wasn't, it was sort of just willy-nilly. Let's pick this play. Let's do that play.
Yeah. I'll tell you one other thing that gives me confidence about that line is hopefully this guy being healthy from day one, and that's Abe Lucas, who, he came back, had a really good game, and then it started to kind of didn't really progress. If anything, it took maybe a bit of a step back, and then he had talked about how he wasn't really right the whole year, but he wanted to, be out there for his teammates. And now we've talked about it. We've seen him out there. He's not wearing a brace, much less a knee sleeve. There's nothing there to even let you know he's had any issues with the knee. So he's a full go, and if this has been fixed and he hits the ground running, that's a massive addition to that line. And he was talking with Brock and Salk, and he explained how the offense is different for the old lineman now.
I think it's totally different. It's an entirely new offense. So, like you said, zone blocking, a lot of wide zone based Kubiak system. It really, I think what it allows us to do as a lineman is open up and use our athleticism to run. And is different from more of a traditional style offense in that it's not just strictly like gap and power scheme stuff. I mean, that's there, but it's gonna be fun. It'll be a fun offense to watch. It'll be a fun offense to grow in.
Yeah, and that was the one I keep mentioning, that Arizona game. That was the one game that really stood out, and that's what they ran, that sort of power game and post and pull and stuff like that. It wasn't like we're trying to stretch the field and let the running back choose where to run. And yeah, I mean, that worked a little bit there. But Abe Lucas, I was saying this earlier, I think he's maybe the most spectacular player on that offense. Charles Cross, very steady, and you want him to be boring. But when you look at Abe Lucas, some of the things that he provides, and he's got great athleticism. And that's where he said it allows some of us offensive linemen, the chance to run. I'm like, well, that's usually not a pretty thing. Most offensive linemen. But, I mean, they have all the kind of players that they have at offensive line is exactly what they think they need. Yeah. So even a guy like Bradford, is mobile enough to do that. But, yeah, I don't know. Abe Lucas, you just see him every once in a while just put flat back a guy or, run 10 yards downfield and get a block. And then, some of the things that you see him do just instinctively, like dropping his weight down on a bull rush. And he just does it. He does it all, man. And for him to have, a year where he's not interrupted and doesn't have to tend to that knee, that's going to be huge for him.
Yeah, hopefully that holds true. That could be so big for this line. Yeah. One other aspect that's new, obviously, is the rookie Gray Zabel playing over there at left guard, and he's talked about what he's learned from going up against obviously a very good D-line in practice.
I would say just quickness off the ball and smartness too. You just named off 3 elite defensive linemen. And so being able to understand what they're thinking while still trying to get your job done, reading their stances and all that, and then them also playing games with you and mixing up their stance so you think one thing and they do another. So I think iron sharpens iron, and I think it's going to be really important that I get to go against these guys. Our offensive line gets to go against these guys, because at the end of the day, when you make the guy across from you better, he's going to end up making you better, because you're both just stacking each other and getting better.
Stacking, Dave.
Yeah, it's that's a great group to go up against, and heard some stories out there about Big Cat kind of imparting his wisdom on some of the young offensive linemen, and what a great guy to learn from. But yeah, it's good about the whole iron sharpens iron. You're going up against, well, look, I know he didn't play, didn't have great stats, but Byron Murphy you couldn't double team him in college.
Mm-hmm.
You just could not. I think he's going to turn into that player in the NFL. But and Big Cat's the same way. And not only that, he is athletic enough to play anywhere on that line. So definitely getting some good advice there.
When we were talking to Byron Murphy and he gets up out of the chair and you look at him, he's a thick person from head to toe.
Yeah.
Like his ankles and his calves and his knees and every part, his arms all the way down to his wrists. I mean, he's a very stout, just thick. Yeah. He just looks dense, like he's like a lead weight.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
he looks
it's true.
Incredibly strong and just, yeah.
Remember we had him in the that chair in that little couch area that we had last year, and never seen anybody fill a seat up like that, man.
He's very sturdy looking. He looks like he could just pick you up and throw you across the room, which I hope we see a lot of this year.
Yeah, he's he's like a bigger version of Aaron Donald, just the way he's built.
Yeah, Donald was body beautiful. He was just ripped and cut. He had abs. He was, he was obviously incredibly strong as well. But yeah, it's interesting. Just I was looking at him as we were talking to him, going, "My God, this guy's hands are thick. Like, everything about him, he's just a massive individual." Our coverage, by the way, of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. So they've got the mock game this Saturday. What are you expecting to see there?
Yeah, I'm expecting to see. I can't wait to see how this offense, just the progression of plays. And one of the things, for you and I mean, we're out there. We get to see the first hour of practice. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of individual stuff and one-on-one things. And now we're going to be able to see, them. And I don't know how similar it's going to be to practice, but it'll be cool to watch and try to figure out what are they trying to get done with this offense. How do they use certain guys? Cooper Kupp, I'm really interested in seeing. I don't even know if he's going to play in it or not, but I don't know if they're holding anybody out of this one. But just to see how the receivers work, and certainly Sam Darnold, obviously, is he in command of that offense? And then how's that offense going to do against this defense? Because we've talked them up pretty big, but rightfully so. They were so good.
They gave us a reason to talk like that.
Yeah. So, hopefully it's not just this dominant defensive performance,
Yeah, I hope to see some rhythm out of the offense. And again, like you said, I don't know who's going to play what, how long, who they're holding back, but just hope Sam Darnold looks sharp, right? That would go a long way into giving people some confidence, because we heard all about interceptions he threw at OTAs. Those took on a whole life of their own. So it'd be good to see some equal coverage if he goes out there and shines. All right, give some people confidence about your starting quarterback. It's the most important position on the team.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked a ton about that. It's been a lot about the trenches and the guys, for good reason. I mean, it's all worthy of conversation, but we haven't spent a ton of time talking about the quarterback. So I'm curious to see how he looks in there for however long they've got him out there and what they ask him to do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And I think also the rookies. That's another position or group of players that you want to watch, because how are they getting up to speed? Is it too fast for them? You can tell typically, and particularly Gray Zabel. Right? I mean, he's number one and the most important by far, but not just because he's a first rounder, but because of the position that he plays. So, I think that's going to be, and I don't know if they're going to go tackle to the ground or what. I think it's a full-on scrimmage, so it should be. But Eamon, really interested in seeing, what he looks like.
I'm excited about him.
Yeah.
It might be my favorite pick, just in terms of curiosity. Because we read so much going into the draft, right? The reviews of all these players, breakdowns of everybody's strengths and weaknesses, and this is where they're projected to go. And there were so many first-round projections on him, and he just feels like a guy that was a diamond waiting there. They just fell into your hands. They move up, they get him, and I think it feels like it could be just a big win for them.
Well, and he was in the race to be their 18th pick, the Seahawks. So and then I can imagine them moving up and getting him. That must have been thrilling for him. But yeah, and it's not like, you've got Kobe Bryant and you've got Julian Love, but just want to see what this kid can do. I think it'd be interesting. I think the one I'm most curious about is Elijah Arroyo.
Yeah.
To see, how can he, I feel like I know almost exactly what you're going to get out of AJ Barner, but who's going to be that second guy, and it sounds like they're going to use him a lot, and it also sounds like they don't really care whether he can block or not.
Is there a front runner for the right guard spot, do you think?
I don't think so, man. I mean, you might ask them; they might already have an idea of what they see. But I know Christian Haynes. There's been a lot of talk about him and him also playing center. So I kind of worry about that center position. I thought that one was going to be one where Olu steps up and just takes it, and it doesn't sound like it because they're using Haynes in there a little bit. So. And then you got Jalen Sundell, which I think makes it interesting. So
you got LeMaya.
Yeah, and then LeMaya at guard. But Sundell can play guard as well. I mean, but, he's also a center candidate.
So what, you got about 4 guys for those 2 spots?
Yeah. Yeah, you got LeMaya, you got
Sundell, Olu, Bradford, Haynes.
Yeah.
5 guys. So, yeah. It's
kind of like that. That's 5 for 2 spots. That's not bad.
I wonder if and I don't think McDonald's going to verbalize this. I think he's talked about, maybe it goes up through preseason, but I wonder if they, behind closed doors, have a date or like, hey, man, we need to know who our 5 are by this game or this date, preseason game number 2. I want to get those guys reps together. I want that, let's settle on that. Or are they comfortable letting that battle go through all the preseason and then they're going to go, okay, we're going to wait till all the evidence is in, and then we're going to make our selections for our starting 5, or how they're going to do that? Because, the 3. We're talking about 2 spots.
Yeah.
We're talking about right guard and center.
Right.
So.
And center being very important. Very important. So that's the one I think I worry about the most. I think LeMaya showed out really well last year. And so I'm pretty confident in him, but the other guys you need to see, especially Jalen Sundell and Olu, that center position, like we've talked about, it's been one of those kind of like you look at it's been a long time since they've had a good, solid center that started for a number of years, I guess.
Justin Britt, right?
Yeah, probably Britt was the last one. That was a while ago. And here he went from tackle to guard to center.
He was just working his way inside.
The thing is, he got better at each one.
Yeah.
He was a better guard than a tackle and a better center than a guard.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully they can find their answer, or maybe this is going to be something we're talking about at the end of the season. They got to draft their center this year, or, but if the other 4 spots are rock solid, I think, you can, as Ray has talked about, you can account for whatever weaknesses may exist with one of the guys on the line. So we'll see how long it takes them to isolate or identify their top 5. Meanwhile, we had to cancel on this guy. Look, when you get the GM wandering over to your set, you got to talk to him. So we had to cancel on him, but able to catch up with Boye Mafe today and learn about what's changed for him heading into this season. That conversation coming your way next with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
All together now.
They acquire now the best bat available in Geno Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed. Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Well, it's summertime. It's motorcycle time for me. I love getting out there every single day on the bike when it's nice weather, and it's been that way. But I know with that comes a lot of risk, and a lot of people have been, riding a long time and have experienced a crash, have been injured in a motorcycle crash. Now, hopefully that doesn't happen for you, but if it does, do not settle for a firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. You got to trust the ones who actually live it, and that's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for almost a quarter century nationwide. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year. Why? Because riders deserve real support when you're in desperate need of it. And the Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when they are in need. Now, you see them everywhere. You see obviously you see the billboards, you hear these commercials, but you see the tents, you see the vans driving around everywhere. They're very present at all the events. They're out there supporting all the clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. And here's the beauty. Your case evaluation is completely free. There are no fees until your case settles. They do not get paid until you get paid. The Law Tigers are there with you. You never ride alone with Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Man, look at that Return of the Day Old King, man. Oh, wow. Emotional.
King of the Hill is back.
They got a Bob's in the airport now. Oh, that's Boba.
World has changed, Dad.
Bobby wants to bring that new girl over for dinner.
The Vegas? What the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Can't we just put some grass in a bowl?
From Mike Judge and Greg Daniels.
Ready to make some memories, Dad?
Let's freaking go.
A Hulu original series, King of the Hill. Season premiere August 4th, streaming on Hulu.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Welcome back to Wyman and Bob, and right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, we have defensive end outside linebacker Boye Mafe. Boye, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Appreciate y'all for having me on here.
Well, we're sorry we had to bump you yesterday. You were supposed to come on the show, but, you know, we had a guy who apparently is kind of a big deal, John Schneider. So we had to put it off till then. So hopefully you understand.
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
Hey, Boye, tell us about, I'm always curious about what players are doing these days as far as your workouts in the off season. Just kind of take us through, like, you know, I always got in good cardio shape first because I hated being tired out on the field. But what kind of things are you working on in the off season, and how do you sort of, you know, schedule your workouts in accordance to when camp starts?
Definitely, you know, for me, I think the biggest thing that I notice is honestly making sure that leading into camp I'm in the best shape. You know, spend a lot of time with cardio when it becomes from running on the field or, you know, doing extra running to even just in the pool sometimes, you know, walking on a pool treadmill or taking laps. And that kind of helps me make sure that I'm in the best shape for camp. On top of that, adding in Pilates and yoga. I feel like those have been the two game changers really for me to really add into my repertoire and my preseason routine.
You're going into your fourth year, Boye. Do you kind of learn something every year? You know, like, is there something that you pick up? Is there anything this offseason going into camp that you learned and that really stands out to you as you go through practice?
Oh, definitely. I feel as if, you know, the biggest thing for me I've realized is that, you know, over, like you said, every year you learn something, and I feel like every year I always look back and be like, only if I wish I would have known this earlier. Yeah. You know, one of those things is, you know, as you learn the game and as you learn more and it becomes more, you know, slower in your mind, you know, one of those things I look back is like, if I had the knowledge I had now in my rookie year, I feel like it would have been completely different. But, you know, you can't go back in the past, and, you know, it's one of the things that you kind of understand and realize that, okay, yeah, now that I understand this, I know what I've done, you know, keep going like that.
Yeah, boy, I think when I came in as a rookie, I was very quiet. I didn't say a damn word, and I think the veterans loved me for that. But what about for you going into your fourth year? Are you a guy that will speak up, and do you kind of feel like you can do that, or do you leave that for guys like Big Cat and DeMarcus Lawrence?
You know, for me, I said the biggest thing is, you know, you got to understand when you're needed and where you are needed. And you don't have to always be that guy that's always, you know, screaming and, you know, being that loud voice. You can lead in a lot of ways. And, you know, I kind of find my way to lead and how I feel is the best way to help the team and the best way to, you know, have an impact on the team and lead in that way so that the guys who need it and the guys who need the help, I can be there for them.
Hey, boy, what's different about this defense? I know a lot of it looks like disguises and things like that, but what stands out about Mike McDonald's defense to you that's different than other things that you've run?
I feel like especially going into year two, you know, with the same defense, I feel as if I'm starting to notice how much more comfortable we're getting with it. And I feel like we're understanding or seeing it in the standpoint of like, all right, now that we've been in it for a year, going back into another year of the same defense is helping us understand and see what we need to do, and we can actually fine-tune the things. You know, compared to last year to this year, is just we didn't have a lot of time with it last year. Now, going into this year, we have the time to spend on it. We've seen these, you know, situations before, so now we understand how to fine-tune it.
Yeah, I don't know if you look at like stats and rankings, Boye, but man, you look at the last 8 games, you guys on defensively, you were like number 1 and number 2 as far as like points and yards and, you know, run yards and things like that. What clicked for you guys in that second half last year?
I I feel as if, as a unit, we kind of looked at each other and understood what the situation was and told each other, like, look, no one's coming to save us. So we have to make that decision on what do we want this year to look like, what do we want to come into this year, how do we want it to be. And we kind of just said, we have the rest of the year to figure it out. And we all decided to make that decision and said the buck stops here.
Hey, what do you notice about this new offense, the wide zone run game, and can you see kind of how and why that type of style of running and the play calling and everything causes difficulty because it's a very proven system that they're running, but what stands out to you?
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. I'm enjoying, obviously the schematics of it look great. The way that the offense is getting comfortable with it and watching it all unfold is honestly, interesting for me. It's giving me a whole another set and another scheme to learn on my side, something that I haven't had here in the past. So for me, it's another chance, another offense, another scheme for me to understand and learn and see what it looks like and, learn from it.
I'm just curious, there's a fair number of players from Nigeria. I played against one, Christian Okoye. But yeah, I mean, how often do you go back to Nigeria and your roots?
I went to Nigeria for boarding school for a year. So when I went back and I came back here, I actually go back quite a lot, either once a year or every other year. Even my next plan probably will be next year to go back again. I always like to go back and spend time there. My roots mean something big to me, and I'm glad and I appreciate my father for always making sure that we understood where we came from, our heritage, and not letting it, letting us move into the United States and being in the United States be such a difference maker and making sure that we understood where we came from, how to, be in our homeland and be part of our heritage and understand what our heritage means to us.
Have you ever met Christian Okoye, by the way?
No, I've heard so much about him, though. I've heard so much about him, the Nigerian Nightmare and all the things that he did back in the day. And I would love to meet him, I feel that'd be someone interesting for me to meet.
Yeah, he was a running back that was about your size, and he would run people over. And then I met him like 20 years ago, and he was like the nicest guy in the world, and I was kind of pissed. I really wanted to hate him, but he was such a nice guy. So, well, boy, I really appreciate the time, and good luck to you this year. We can't wait to see what this team does this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it, no, for sure. I can't wait.
There you go. There's Boye Mafe. Boy, you were just cracking him up.
He's got a great laugh. I was glad I was able to make him laugh. But yeah, there was a little confusion there as far as his. He was not born. He was American born, but I'll tell you what, there is 35 Nigerian-born players in the history of the NFL. Yeah, and going back to Christian Okoye. So yeah,
the Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah. Like I said in the interview, I met him at a golf tournament. He was so sweet. He was like the nicest guy.
Okoye?
Really, Okoye, yeah. Really wanted to hate him, but just couldn't.
When he was in his prime, was there fear? Not fear. Was it just kind of dread? Like, oh, geez, we got to deal with this guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he was a huge problem.
You were playing against him, right?
Yeah. I had to tackle him. I tackled him and didn't tackle him a couple of times, a few times. But yeah, I mean, they had this huge offensive line. John Alt, which I think his son got drafted by the Chargers just recently, but he was just like this 6'8" lineman. And another guy named Dave Zott that he was like 6'4", 310 pounds, and so those guys would block you, and then here would come 245 pounds.
This freight train.
Yeah, and I mean he was really fast too. So yeah, he was he was a tough one. I just remember there was a line, and I was younger in my career. My running mate was Darren Como. He was the other inside backer, and he was kind of more of a veteran guy. And they were talking about like tackling him around the ankles, trying to go for his legs. And Darren looks at me, he goes, "We're linebackers. We hit high." Okay. And so there was kind of a chip, and that was the thing about Christian Okoye. Like everybody was waiting for him. Everybody was like, "Oh, I'm going to take this guy down." Yeah. Right. He was
going to be the one.
Yeah. So, and that I heard him complaining about, do you remember the hit where Steve Atwater, it's like a famous NFL highlight. And he comes up in open field and just blasts him.
No.
Just knocks him down. And Steve Atwater was huge. Another super nice guy.
Yeah.
And I remember Okoye seeing that, and he goes, "See, that was just one time, man. I ran over that guy probably 50 times." And, they always show that highlight, which I thought was funny. But, yeah, and there's a lot of players, man. There's a lot of guys that were Samson Ebukam most recently. I remember he played for or is it Ebukam? He played for the Rams for a while, and so yeah, that's cool that he gets back there. And but man, what a great player! He just gets better every year. So it's kind of interesting. He had 3 sacks his rookie year, 9 sacks the next year, and then 6 sacks last year. So I expect to see him take a jump
next step. All right, good stuff. You guys missed any part of that conversation, you can find it after the show on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks host the Chiefs on Friday, August 15th. And all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, here's what you do. You just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. And the contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Meanwhile, one MLB analyst says this Mariner trade deadline was 10 years in the making. We'll hear more about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach McDonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Harley Exteriors, and when you hear Harley Exteriors, think windows, manufactured right here in Washington, specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest climate. And Olympic Series windows are offered exclusively by Harley Exteriors, and this is the window you want. It looks absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window. And these windows, they last up to 60 years. And they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. And they come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your home's resale value. Very affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. And in July, so you just got a few hours here, in July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Man, look at that Return of the Old King, man. Oh, wow. Emotional.
King of the Hill is back.
They got a Bob's in the airport now. Oh, that's Boba.
World has changed, Dad.
Bobby wants to bring that new girl over for dinner.
The Vegas? What the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Can't we just put some grass in a bowl?
From Mike Judge and Greg Daniels.
Ready to make some memories, Dad?
Let's freaking go.
A Hulu original series, King of the Hill. Season premiere August 4th, streaming on Hulu.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Man, look at that Return of the AL King, man. Oh, wow. Emotional.
King of the Hill is back.
They got a Bob's in the airport now. Oh, that's Boba.
World has changed, Dad.
Bobby wants to bring that new girl over for dinner.
The vegan? What the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Can't we just put some grass in a bowl?
From Mike Judge and Greg Daniels.
Ready to make some memories, Dad?
Let's freaking go.
A Hulu original series, King of the Hill. Season premiere August 4th. Streaming on Hulu.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
Lift off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Icy cool and oh so sweet. It's $305,000 in cash. Turn over a new leaf by winning your share of these big summer bucks. Every Saturday in July and August, golden opportunities abound with hourly drawings from 8 p.m. until midnight when one grand prize winner will score 10 grand with 50 grand on the last Saturday of each month. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Yeah, a lot of excitement in the Mariners clubhouse last night, and because they were in Sacramento, a fine AAA establishment, the clubhouses aren't attached. So it was kind of a funny story when they were relaying post game that they didn't have any idea until they walked all the way out to the clubhouse after the game about this news. So everyone pretty excited. They didn't know until after the game, and JP Crawford discussed kind of the importance of bringing Geno Suarez back, not just for what he brings on the field, but off the field as well.
Yeah, it's nice, any acquisitions are good, and especially having great people, added to the team as well, outside of baseball, it's really good to have Geno back. He had everyone together, off the field, and I think that's why that year that he was brought over here, we went so far is because of things outside of baseball, so really thrilled to have him back.
He's definitely got a presence in that clubhouse. You could tell by the bubbling excitement from J.P. Crawford, but
he was tired.
He's mellow. He's so mellow. But I mean, those guys love him. Those guys love him, and it's what we said to open the show and talking about. As much as you are excited about what he potentially brings on the field and specifically up at the plate, his presence in that clubhouse was just unique, and everybody loved him. And we played that cut from Shannon Drayer talking about him getting on the plane and the whole plane cheering, and he's went down the aisle and hugged and kissed every single person on the plane, and it's like he's back home again.
Yeah, I wonder, can you imagine the girls. He's got little girls, and how they'll remember that their entire lives. And what a cool thing for the Mariners to do. I love that. And you could only do that with a guy that you're confident that everybody loves. And yeah, it just seemed like everybody loved Geno, right? And we didn't really figure that out until we interviewed him. And then, that smile of his, and he just is just a warm guy and just awesome. So, that part of it, because you never know what you're going to get as far as personality goes, right? But they knew exactly what they were getting.
Sweeping the dial.
Mark DeRosa on MLB Central breaking down this trade this morning says pretty much, it was about time. The Mariners finally stepped up to help their lineup.
It was time for the Mariners to step up. I just heard it in my ear. Here they come. Got a chance to make the postseason. Not only that, if you dive in now, we've been saying they're a bat away for the last 10 years. It seems like.
Right. It's the bat.
They've added 2, and they've added 2 really good ones.
Yes.
This lineup gets super deep now.
It can change the temperature in the clubhouse.
Absolutely. Geno Suarez and Josh Naylor walk in the room, you're going for it. Period.
He's right. It's, that signifies we're in. That's what those moves say to me. And more importantly, that's what they say to the players.
Yeah.
That's, again, fans, you want the fans to be happy. And I would imagine 99.9%, we have a couple that are finding ways to be unhappy about it. But it's the players, and you're hearing it from them about who he is in that clubhouse and just the vibe that he brings, and good vibes only and all that. He's just he brings lightness to the whole thing.
How long do you think we've been talking about those two players? I mean, that probably started a month and a half maybe before the trade deadline, where people were talking about those two players.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's just amazing to me, remarkable, that they went and actually did it. Because usually when you talk something, you get all these plans. Oh yeah, they need to get him, and like, okay, it never works out, right? They never follow what most of the fans want. And we've been hearing about those two players the entire time. And as much as we love getting Geno back and good vibes only and all that, I like Naylor. I like his demeanor.
You like that he seems grumpy?
A little on the grumpy side, a little, but like, I don't know, it comes off like a guy who's just extremely competitive, And I asked that about Geno Smith to somebody, and I was like, is he a jerk? He's like, no, he's not a jerk at all. He's just very competitive. And that's kind of how Naylor strikes me. Now, obviously, haven't met him off the field or anything. Just watching him, though, in the dugout.
We didn't meet Geno either.
Yeah. Well, we got a chance to talk to him last year. Or was it last year?
To Geno Smith?
Oh, you're talking about Geno Smith. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about Geno Suarez.
No.
Yeah. No, we never talked to Geno either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know, there's kind of a nastiness about it or something, you know? And I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
as long as the players in that clubhouse like him, I'm good.
Sweeping the dial.
Earlier today, out at Giants training camp, Russell Wilson joined Boomer Esiason in their morning show, and he was asked if he regrets what is now kind of an infamous video that he filmed.
If you could go back in time and not hit post on Mr. Unlimited video, would you do it?
I would still do it, man. I got kids saying unlimited,
I got it in person.
Come on. We're having fun, man.
I like that he owns it.
Yeah, just be you, man. He's a goofy, kind of awkward guy, and just embrace it. I mean, remember when he signed that deal, all of a sudden there's that video he posted of him and Sierra, and he's like, yo, Seattle, we got a deal. I was like, whoa, where did that Russell come from?
Yeah,
I never heard him speak like that.
Very out of character.
Yeah, just kind of, he's a goofy guy, man.
Yeah,
he is. Just own it.
I remember the time when he said, failure is not an option.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like something Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, maybe. Yeah, he had his little oddities, but I like that he owns it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's he's a goofy guy, but
I don't even remember that video. I just remember the phrase. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. Yeah. A couple quick texts here. Willem in Maple Valley says, despite who we have now in this exciting new and improved lineup, we still need Negative Dave to come back ASAP. It's the only way the Mariners have a chance to make the playoffs. They're really counting on Negative Dave.
Yeah, I know that Moyer kicked me out of his little group because of there was losing.
The Abandoned Boys?
The Abandoned Boys abandoned me.
Yeah.
They entirely did.
I thought you were bad juju.
But it was a game where I think it was against Tampa Bay, and they lost like 15-1 or something. Like it was some ridiculous loss. It was over the last couple of years. I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah, I think you're better off though. You don't want your phone dinging left and right.
Oh my God! It was like there was like 15 people on there. We had a group text here at the station, which everybody I loved, but I was like, guys, I asked somebody, how do I get out of this without being a jerk?
I'm not interested in everybody's comments.
The LOL or the smiley face and
lots of love.
Lots
Dave.
of love.
Lots of love. 425 said, pretty disappointing that the show is talking about preseason football at the end of the trade deadline. Also, major letdown that they wouldn't go all in and get real relief pitching. No way they're in the playoffs. Well, they sound fun.
Nice. Have a nice day.
Jeez.
We spent the first hour talking about the trade. Did a little bit of Seahawk football, but
we cover it all.
I like it. That's why we have it. You can go back and listen to it, right?
Yeah, it's a 4-hour show. There's a lot of ground to cover.
That's right.
We're going to spread it all out. Don't you worry. If it doesn't happen the moment you turn on the radio, there's a good chance it's going to happen shortly thereafter. So just buckle up. It's going to be there. Meanwhile, he knows what it's like to be traded during the season, and Charlie Furbush is going to join us in studio to talk about all of the times he was traded. No, we'll talk about what's going on with the Mariners and everything else. For the next hour, he's going to join us for his weekly conversation. Coming up with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
All together now.
Hey, you
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
The Davis Law Group Charity Golf Tournament heads to the Prospector Course in Suncadia on August 20th. Proceeds benefit Life Support I-90, funding life-saving training and equipment for the first responders on call every day, covering the thousands of travelers heading over the I-90 corridor east of Snoqualmie Pass through Cle Elum and the surrounding areas. Tee times and sponsor packages are limited, so sign up today at dlggolf.com. That's dlggolf.com, because the life you save could be your own.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit.
Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The trade frenzy has officially come to an end. Trade deadline is done. A lot of notable names moving, most specifically with the Mariners. They acquire a Naylor, they acquire Suarez, they acquire a bullpen arm, and everybody's feeling good about things as they get back to it tonight in a crucial 4-game series with the Texas Rangers. If you're not aware, the Mariners are now currently tied with the Rangers in the AL West for second place. They're also tied with them for that third wild card spot. So this is a very consequential series with the Rangers in town for 4. They send George Kirby to the hill in Game 1 tonight. He'll face off against Kumar Rocker. You can catch it all right here starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch. Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, one former Mariner is part of the Toronto Blue Jays now. Ty France has been traded from the Minnesota Twins, who feels like they unloaded their entire roster almost, and he is one of them. He is on his way to Toronto.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
A big day for baseball fans, a big day in the world of baseball and Mariner fans, and a perfect day to have this guy in studio with us as he is each and every week talking baseball with a man who knows a thing or two about this business. Former Mariners reliever Charlie Furbush is here with us as always. How are you, man?
I am doing great.
How much do you love this time? I'm guessing you have a different feeling about this now as a civilian, if you will, compared to when you were a player where it was probably tension-filled, nervousness. How different is this for you?
It's definitely different. Knowing I'm not going to have to pack up my bags and move to another city.
Well, we tried to trade. We couldn't get any takers.
Yeah, that's how it goes, right? You gotta give up something to
It
get
takes
something.
two.
It
Yeah.
takes two to tango.
We were willing, but we couldn't find that other party.
Where were the prospects? Where was I going?
We've got a restaurant across the street here that we were talking to.
Perfect.
There's a gas station. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we wouldn't trade you. We wouldn't. They were inquiring with us, and we said no, untouchable.
Untouchable.
Can't have
Amazing.
him.
Charlie has a no trade clause.
Yeah,
That's right.
He's the key to our success. But I mean, what was it like as a player during this time?
It's an exciting time, especially when you're in it, and like the Mariners are right now. I think all of us have probably said this a time or two. It seems like they were always a move away. They're always just needed to get one more bat, one more arm, and it is an exciting day to be a Mariners fan. It finally feels like in a lot of ways they're pushing their chips all in and they're trying to go for it, and have acquired the right pieces to put in place to go for it. And it's just so exciting from a playing aspect when you're inside that clubhouse and because you're only focused on what you can control, right? And inside the clubhouse, you're like, all right, I got to do what I can to be a good teammate. I got to do what I can to prepare for tonight. And I can't really be too worried about what the general manager is going to do. But ideally, in the back of your head, in conversations with groups, in the dining hall, on flights, you kind of have a sense like we know we just need another piece or two. So what it does inside that clubhouse just amplifies the message that we're all in and we're trying to win it this year. We're not holding back. We're gonna push all our chips in. So let's get ready for these next 50 so games and go all in and see where we end up. And I think with the American League where it's at, it just you're in such a good position to continue to go down this road, hopefully to the playoffs and beyond.
Hey, do you ever you heard the story about how they held the plane and Geno's family got on the plane? You ever experience? I was telling Bob that in 2019, I think when we made the playoffs, the plane stayed on the ground so we could get the television feed of the Niners losing,
Nice.
which got them in, which was a really cool moment. Everybody was cheering and everything. But this is like next level, man. I mean, for Geno, because somebody was saying, well, what if he doesn't get along with other people or whatever? Seems like everybody gets along with Geno, right? And you ever part of a cool moment like that?
I mean,
Awesome.
not like that. That's like, pretty epic, and especially after, coming off a tough loss to the A's, right? And,
Yeah.
and when from a trade perspective, too, I'm sure the conversation logistically is like, okay, it is odd that they were into Sacramento having an off day, right? And it's like, okay, so you get to the hotel, now you got to go to the ballpark, and, okay, maybe not go to the ballpark. All right, how do I – what's the best way to get up to Seattle if I got to be in the lineup tomorrow night? Am I going to hop back on a plane, out of Sacramento, or is it? There's so many different ways that can kind of unfold, but I think the one thing that no one really saw coming was, him hopping on the team flight and coming onto the flight in that fashion. Because it's the other thing to take account is like it's the end of the road trip, and normally that last day of the road trip is a day game. But they're playing in Sacramento right now, and it's 110 degrees during the day, so they're playing more night games. So getaway happened to be a night game. So all the guys were just ready on that plane to get back to Seattle as soon as they could, and knowing they were going to get in late, and then it's going to be a quicker turnaround. But you're certainly going to be more excited to get to the ballpark today, waking up being like, this is 100% a better team right now. And to have Geno come on the plane like that and hug everyone and high five everyone, it's just. You're just over the moon excited and know that you're ideally onto something special.
How surprised are you that they did this? I'm a bit surprised. I mean, the Naylor move happened early and loved it. Loved that move when it happened. Loved what they gave up in return. Then they go get Caleb Ferguson, bullpen arm. And with that, to me, is more, I'm not watching Pirates games, man. I can look at his numbers and go,
Come on,
okay.
You seem like a Pittsburgh guy.
Oh,
Come on.
huge. Normally I'm dialed into everyone. Just didn't have the time. But Dave and I talked about this, that I've got kind of, when it comes to pitching, and more specifically bullpen arms, I've kind of got a blind faith in their ability to turn whoever into somebody consequential. Doesn't matter whether you followed them, have no idea. I mean, we bring up Penn Murphy and Justin Topa and Paul Sewald and all these names. You're going, wait, who? And you may look at their numbers and go, well, who's this guy? And lo and behold, they become somebody that are eating up crucial innings in that bullpen, guys you can count on. So I suspect that will be true with him as well. But all in all, it seems like they addressed everything. Now we got some people that are, well, I wish they got another arm. I wish they got a starter. I wish they got another bat. I'm like, okay, they're not going to build an entirely new team here, but considering what they did, I'm shocked. I did not expect this.
Well, I
did you?
I did.
You did. You thought they were going to go big.
I did think they were going to do something just like this, and when you look at it from a farm system prospect aspect, they didn't really dive that deep into the world of their top 10. So I was
didn't give up one of the top 100.
This is what I mean by I was expecting it. I was expecting them to find the value in the players that are playing well right now and to flip them and figure out ways to improve your roster without trying to tap into the farm system and say, okay, now we got to give up our, first or second overall prospect in the organization to get a guy right now, right? I think they did a really good job of holding on to some homegrown talent all the while, using the talent they do have because they're so good at drafting and developing. It's like, yeah, he may be the 12th ranked guy in our org. That dude's a stud. He's still a stud because, the Mariners have done such a good job of bringing up guys from the offensive and pitching side. Obviously, the pitching has been amazing. You bring up another bullpen arm. That was the only other thought I had going into today was maybe getting aggressive and trying to get another bullpen arm, a Pete Fairbanks, someone that can pitch later in the ball games. And I'll give you the reason. And the real reason is obviously – you've seen what this bullpen is when you can, easily hand the ball off to Matt Brash and Andres Munoz. Like the 8-9, if that's how it goes. But I also am trying to, in the backdrop, leave Munoz alone, let him do what he's going to do. But Brash, this is his first year back from Tommy John surgery. So this is a heavy workload first year back. So it's like, in my mind, I'm like, find another, high leverage righty to bridge that gap when he needs a day off later in the season. Because, that first year back, I know from having Tommy John, it's like you're going to have days where you feel awesome, and then there are days where you're just like, yeah, I'm just a little, more stiff or sore than normal. It doesn't mean I can't pitch or I can't get through it, but it's just like the natural recovery having a major arm injury. So that was my thought. I was like, oh, if they could somehow be willing to part with another prospect to get another arm, I thought that would have been, the only other thing they could have done in a lot of ways. But they filled all the needs in so many different ways from the roster to improve it and give the team a chance here in the stretch run.
Yeah, somebody texted in why not send down Solano or Moore. I'm guessing it's because
Solano
of options.
doesn't have any options.
Yeah,
I don't think Moore does either.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. That was just a question. But for Ben Williamson, playing really well and pretty good average. And you've seen this before probably. A guy he's out there doing his best, and it actually, he's maybe a better third baseman than Geno. Maybe.
I think defensively he is a better third baseman.
But
Geno. Do you think Geno is better than Williamson at third base?
No.
Okay.
Williamson. He's saying Williamson is better than Geno.
Right. Yeah.
Williamson is definitely better.
No. Yeah. I think Geno's got a great arm. But as far as for Ben Williamson, what do you think about what that does to him? And not that anybody cares right now. Everybody's so caught up in
poor Ben. Nobody cares how you feel.
No, he's a great kid, and he worked his tail off.
Yeah, no, it's it's an interesting aspect of the whole day, right? Of a guy that seemingly is making play after play, and now that he's second in the league in defensive runs saved for third baseman, it's like, okay, well that's a big gap. I think he's got 9 or 10 runs saved or something high right behind, I think, Brian Hayes. So that's the only thing that makes me think, okay, we may feel that a little bit from time to time where there's a slow roller coming in, that Williamson made almost every play.
Yeah.
Ideally, though, the offset is the offensive production you get on the other side, right? So if you can withstand it because you have such good pitching that a slow roller or a ball down the line that Geno doesn't get, or a really hard play that maybe only Williamson could make, that will be maybe something we see over the next few games or whatever, few weeks. But ideally, the vibes and what he provides inside the clubhouse outweighs anything you're lacking from a defensive run standpoint. You're gonna ideally get a player that is hitting a ton of home runs this year and has played here before, knows the team, knows the guys, and they all know we're still in it. This is a fun time to be a baseball player, and an even more fun time to be a Mariner fan.
Yeah, and I think I don't think you can overstate just that level of comfort of having him come back. He's been here. He knows everybody. He knows the city. He knows the stadium. He knows the quirks. He knows everything about the building. He knows about the organization. So there's not that ramp up, oh, this is how they do this here, or this is, where do I go for this, or it's home. You know what I mean? So and again, that reception is just huge. I think it's just immediately injected energy into a team that was probably feeling a little down after dropping 2 of 3 it was a losing road trip. You lose the series to the A's, and all of a sudden you burst out in big cheers, and there's smiles and hugs, and it's just, somebody on the text line saying, well, do hugs win games? It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt to have that vibe. It's not going to hurt to have that presence in there. It's more about that. It's not the literal hug is going to change how things go, but that presence and that lightness that he brings, I think you can't overstate how much that means.
I completely agree. And inside that clubhouse, especially when you're dealing with anyone that is struggling or just trying to get back into the ability to play at the high level. And, sometimes a guy that's played in the league for a long time can get you out of your funk. I'm sure you've probably seen guys where an older guy can come up to a younger guy and instill some confidence in him on the football field or inside that clubhouse. That's the type of thing that is like, that's not on the stat sheet, right? You can't look at the stat and say, oh, he helped this guy out, or his presence is actually making everyone better. Like, there's no stat for that. So right. I think that's where the attractiveness and, talking about Geno this last month is like, well, he checks all the boxes from an offensive standpoint, but you never know what kind of play you're going to get, right? I think that's the hard thing from a general manager standpoint. Is like, okay, I see the player, I see the numbers, I see the value, but inside the clubhouse, how does he mesh? How does he, adapt and adjust to a new setting? You don't have to ask those questions right now, right? You already checked those boxes, and it's going to be hopefully a really, really smooth, easy transition, and ideally we'll see some fun Geno at bats tonight.
It's just so amazing. I'm just blown away by how when did we start talking about Naylor and Suarez? It seemed like maybe a month in or a month and a half or something like that, and that it actually came to fruition. And I love the message that Jerry's sending. And then, remember at the end of the year last year, Cal was like, and he obviously is very happy.
That.
Yeah,
that was so awesome.
And that, and he had a lot of faith in ownership and management to sign that deal, because it sounds like that was part of it, right? Like, I'm willing to stay here and sign this. I could probably get more in free agency, but I'm going to do this. We got to go and be aggressive and get the right players, and sends an awesome message to the team.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately from, my experience playing, it's like it's very hard to draft and develop and like not acquire players and just think that you're going to win championships that way, right? I think it's like a blend of both, right? Where you do have to draft and develop and do that very, efficiently and find guys and find diamonds in the rough, and people, find guys that people don't see that are going to turn into a Logan Evans, like, some guy like that. So, but you also have to go into free agency and go into the trade market to acquire guys. Ideally, most of the time you see is you acquire big league ready guys that have been there and done it and know how to get it done at the level, at the highest level, playing 162 games. So it's a fascinating thing, but the Mariners, I think, are kind of in the middle of that. They're really kind of doing a good job of drafting and developing, and then finding value in guys, and then going ahead and filling the gaps with trades and free agency. So really, it's just they're so primed right now to take a run and run with it. And I think the series this weekend is going to be huge, right? This is a big series. So, really sets the tone going into it, having Geno, having the vibe strong, high. I mean, every player knows what's ahead of them and knows what they got to do individually to try and produce and get it done. But, it's so fun to watch. That's all I say. I think you said earlier, like, are you surprised? I'm like, no, I think this is like a long time coming, and at some point or another, from a general manager standpoint and an organizational standpoint of like the people in charge, you go, I look back on last year. I go, okay, last year probably was another good year, an opportunity you could have went all in and thrown your chips at some players and improved your roster. But, you saw kind of what happened when you didn't, right? And you go, okay, well, maybe our approach should be a little different this year, because last year we arguably had a better pitching staff in terms of health and performance. They're not that far behind. I think the pitching obviously has taken a little bit step backwards, but they're still a high-quality staff in a lot of ways. So, it's exciting, and I'm not surprised they did anything they did, and it just sets themselves up in such a good spot going in, ideally, to hopefully chase down what I was like to joke is and I'm sure you'll get a kick out of this, is Astros haters. Can we just call them the Trastros?
You call them whatever you want.
I mean? Right? Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
The trash can, and it rhymes.
And they bring back one of the prime faces of that whole scandal with Correa, so it's just that much more hateable.
I know.
Now they just need to bring Bregman back. It'll be a trifecta of hate.
I see.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
I see a T-shirt on the web. I think Charlie just coined a phrase.
Did I?
Yeah.
That one's been out there for a bit. Not to take
well,
away your
I'm bringing it
creativity.
back, though.
First time I've heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Yeah.
Charlie's feeling creative. Look at that. I dazzled Wyman.
Yes. He was today years old when he learned this.
Is there a player you were really hoping they would get that they didn't? I was daydreaming about Stephen Kwan. I know he doesn't address an immediate need, although you could use a leadoff hitter. JP's been scuffling. I love Kwan. He didn't get traded anywhere. But that's one guy I'm like, all right, if I'm getting greedy, I'd love to see that guy here. Because they were talking like he was going to get moved, and he's a hell of a hitter, hell of a player.
Yeah.
Did not get moved, so it's not like somebody else won, the Mariners lost. But was there a player like that where you're just kind of, maybe you heard their name mentioned going, I'd like to see that guy here?
Yeah, it's a guy that the Mariners actually fared decently well against, but I think his stuff is arguably one of the best in the league is Duran with the Twins.
Yeah.
I think adding that weapon in the back of the bullpen would have made games so much shorter. Like, it really would have shortened the game based on their success rate because of how ridiculous, or for him, like how ridiculous his pitches are. They're just absolutely filthy and throws 102 regularly, and it's like, okay, well, that's perfect. Imagine, Brash in the 7th and then him in the 8th, Munoz in the 9th. Like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. So thanks, starters for going 6. We got you from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it is. So that's the guy I thought you can solidify your bullpen not only this year but years to come.
Yeah, and they were, by all accounts, they were in on him.
I know, but I think that's the asking price gets too high, and I think that's where you go, okay, well, how long does the 102-mile-an-hour thrower continue to throw 102 year over year? Is that value there? So, because that's there's just, when you throw that hard, it's really attractive and great, but it comes with the territory usually of it doesn't last that long. You know, it's hard to sustain triple digits. There's only few guys that have ever been able to sustain it throughout their whole career.
What about Ferguson? What do you see from him? And another lefty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the bullpen, has he been a guy that you followed?
As as like Bob, I watch every Pittsburgh Pirates game that I can. You know what I mean?
Who's not watching them?
Exactly. But no, taking a look at Ferguson, it's another need for the Mariners. You just can't keep throwing out Gabe Spire and trying to wear him out. He's too valuable as a left-handed pitcher out of the bullpen right now, and he's done a tremendous job, especially from a strikeout perspective. So I look at him as a guy that is a little different, a bigger guy, a bigger profile, an out-getter at the end of the day, knows how to pitch and get guys out from both sides of the plate. So I think it's a good middle relief type guy that can bridge that gap to the end of the game and still get those outs that you're going to need that are just as valuable in the 6th inning as they are in the 8th.
Yeah, Duran would have been great. It would have been great, and it was exciting to hear they're in it. They're one of the teams in the mix. Who knows what the asking price was in terms of prospects from the Mariners, but yeah, getting greedy. Would have loved him. Would have loved Kwan. Maybe another starter. Maybe get Dylan Cease. Whatever. Let's just go for it all. But with what they've done, I'm extremely happy with, and it puts it all in the lap of Dan, the coaching staff, and the players. Now, ownership and management did their part, Now it's on you guys. So
That's
we'll talk more about that. Talk about this pitching as well as we continue. Charlie Furbush in studio with us for the hour. That's coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
With another monster move on the eve of baseball's trade deadline.
The pitch to Geno. Swung on. A rocket to left field. Walk it off, Geno. Geno Suarez, the Mariner.
It's crystal clear. The Mariners are all in. Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Well, it is that weather outside. That's motorcycle weather. Love getting out on the bike when it's this kind of weather outside, warm and all of that going on. But riding a motorcycle, you assume a lot of risk out there. And to this point, knocking on wood, I have not been involved in an accident. But if you're a rider out there, and maybe you have been and you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, let me give you some advice. Do not settle for a firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. You got to trust the ones who actually are and that actually live it. And that's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They are there 24/7, 365 days a year, because writers deserve real support when you are most in need. And the Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to and count on when they have that need arise. Law Tigers, you see them everywhere. You see the billboards, you see the tents, you see the vans everywhere. They're out at all the clubs, supporting all the clubs. They're out at all the shops, all the events. They're always by your side. And on top of that, your case evaluation is completely free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. With the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
Hi, this is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. Big Trees has certified arborists and site experts who help you select the right trees for the right location on your property. When Big Trees installs a tree, we offer a 1-year warranty and 1 free aftercare visit from a board-certified master arborist. To learn more about our process, visit BigTreeSupply.com.
You still have 40 million plus vehicles globally that are driving around with a potential ticking time bomb, a grenade in either their steering wheel or their dashboard. When we look to what injuries may have transpired from a defective airbag, we generally see loss of vision in an eye, or we see facial lacerations. We also see hearing loss. Unfortunately, we started seeing death after death after death. When that passenger airbag exploded, it basically degloved his entire face. He lost his nose, he lost his right eye. The type of catastrophic injuries that one is more accustomed to seeing in a Hollywood movie, and not something from a device in an automobile that's supposed to protect you. Morgan & Morgan has a national reach in terms of handling and prosecuting cases. Notwithstanding the team of lawyers that we have collected that focus only on product liability day in and day out.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We got Charlie Furbush spending the hour with us here in studio. You guys can text in 866-979-3776. Pretty interesting lineup that's been released here. I'm looking at it. Your leadoff hitter tonight, Randy Arozarena. Hitting second, Cal Raleigh. Hitting third, Julio Rodriguez. So they've shuffled things at the top of the order. They've got Naylor hitting fourth, hitting cleanup, hitting fifth, Geno Suarez. So he is in the lineup playing third base tonight. Your DH is Jorge Polanco, followed by Canzone. J.P. Crawford hitting eighth tonight. Followed by Cole Young. How about that? Randy Arozarena is your leadoff hitter.
I love it. Maybe that's what the Mariners need, just a little mix-up of the lineup to score a few more runs.
And they flip-flop Cal and Julio. Put Julio in the 3 spot, Cal in the 2 spot.
Gets Cal another at-bat, hopefully.
Interesting.
I think he's got to be the happiest guy, right? Cal, just because, you know, the conversation he had at the end of the year with, well, really the conversation was with the media. I don't know if he went and talked to Jerry or somebody as well, but you know, he was the one that was like kind of demanding a little bit. I thought that was cool at the time because he wasn't really that outspoken. Now this year, he's probably talked more this year than he has his entire life, pretty much.
Oh, for sure. You know, he's excited for sure, and it's great. You know, he was just calling it like he saw it in a lot of ways. But I would say, as excited as Cal is, I'm pretty sure the pitching staff is way more excited right now. You know what I mean? It's like, finally, not that they didn't have run support, but ideally you're going to have more
in there.
You're going to have more run support, though. And those one-run games that are just, oh, my gosh, if we could just have one more run or one more at-bat or one more, you know, drive in the gap that just moves the guys over. I think now the lineup won't, ideally, I don't think you're going to see as many one-run games because we're going to score more runs.
What's your feeling about what we've seen out of the starters recently? We've seen guys on 3 different occasions take no-hitters to varying depths. I mean, Wu took it into the 8th. We saw Kirby and Logan take it. In the case of Kirby and Logan, they're dealing 3 up, 3 down, and then as soon as they walked somebody or gave up a hit, the wheels came off. And then we saw Brian Wu last night giving up 4 bombs. He hadn't done that since 2023. He was catching, I mean, he was dead center of the plate. He was catching a really fat part of the plate. But how do you, it feels like we've just had these moments where within one game you see a guy just look unhittable and then it just changes. Not so much last night for Wu, but you've seen these guys struggle a bit. What's your feeling on what you've seen?
I'm not too worried about it. It seemed like you said, it's not necessarily. It seems to be like one instance where it's an inning, it's a pitch, it kind of unfolds, and then you go, okay, now we're a little behind the 8 ball here. But let's just bring up Brian Wu last night. I'm sitting here watching, and dude's throwing 97, like dotting up. I'm like, this guy keeps getting better. This is amazing. And you mentioned the 4 home runs, and I kind of blame that in playing in Sacramento, right? It's like it's a ball where the ballpark flies. I mean, it's not an ideal place to pitch. So, I would say one of those home runs maybe doesn't go out if it's in a different place, right? And if it's in Oakland and it's 55 degrees, that ain't going out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you talk about the other guys where Kirby and Gilbert have, ultimately done pretty good. I think that's where, if we want to just kind of pick apart the team a little bit, I think the regression overall in the pitching, we've seen it. We've seen the bullpen had to be used way more than they were last year. So I think it's easy to say, oh, well, the pitching is digressed, but they're certainly still, having pretty good outings across the board. And, another guy we didn't mention is Luis Castillo, who's like the Rock himself, still doing it, still, going deep into games and having very highly competitive outings. So, I'm not too worried about the starters. I think it's a few bad pitches here and there, and ultimately probably trying to do too much and trying to get themselves out of the jam as fast as possible. And then when you try to do too much, you end up leaving balls over the middle of the plate a little more often, and that just leads to bad execution and ultimately runs against you.
Yeah, I didn't mention Luis because he shoved in his last outing.
Right.
He was one of his best of the year, and the beauty of that is it came on the heels of the previous start where you went, that wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't awful, but it was 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. It was like, all right. And then he came out 7 innings, 1 run, 5 hits.
Yep,
that was good to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'd like to see that out of Kirby tonight. I think that's going to be this could be arguably Kirby's biggest start of the year right now, right? Like going into tonight, setting the tone against the Rangers and keeping yourself in the race and not getting behind the 8 ball here and having to continue to kind of dig yourself out. So this would be a huge start for Kirby to come out and see him just maybe. Because he throws so many strikes. Yeah, maybe try and, be a little more, I don't know, I guess daring in terms of throwing pitches off the plate and trying to get guys. I just go back to that game where you struck out, 14 Angels?
Yep.
I'm like, dude, you were lights out that game and everything was working. Obviously, you were pinpointing. But when you look at some of the pitches of where they ended up, like, some of the cutters he threw off the plate that literally looked like it was a strike until the very last second. It's like that's the type of pitch that I want to see out of Kirby. I want to see him doing more, I guess I can call it gambling on the mound, being like, yeah, I'm gonna test the corner and see if I can get you to swing. I know you think that I am gonna throw a strike here, but I think I need to try and be a little bit different here and make adjustments and see if I can get guys out in different ways. So it's gonna be a fun night in T-Mobile tonight for sure. And I like I said, I do hope that Kirby comes out strong because obviously the crowd will be ready to see Geno back in the Mariners uniform.
Sometimes when these teams trade, you can't really see it, right? It's like, oh, this is like a long-term plan or whatever. But I don't know. Just looking at from what you've seen, as far as I think the Padres had the biggest as far as. Trade. They had traded away the number 3 prospect overall, DeVries, and but as far as just addressing a need, I mean, I feel like the Mariners, and from what you've seen, it seems like the splashiest trade. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think in a lot of ways, it is the splashiest trade because you went out and got, 2 of the premier power positions in first base and third base. So I think that's when. You look at from an offensive standpoint, and then we just mentioned what the lineup looks like tonight now with the additions of those 2 guys. You go okay, well, all right, this is a different lineup now. This is a thumping lineup here with these 2 guys. So it definitely feels like you made the biggest addition offensively in a lot of ways comparatively to every other club.
Yeah.
But those were the two. I mean, I know Correa got moved, but he made it clear. We saw the comments up there on the screen that he had a no trade, and the only team he was going to waive that for was the Astros. So he wasn't in play. So you remove him in terms of name value. Mariners got the biggest bats available. I mean, everybody was talking about Geno. It wasn't just the Mariners, and there were a number of teams in there. Naylor was a guy that we were, again, daydreaming about, what if they got them both? Wouldn't that be great? You know, you felt like it was going to be one or the other, and certainly after they got Naylor, you felt like, all right, yeah, Geno would be cool, but maybe it's not a realistic thought, but it sure would be fun. I mean, I think they won this thing. I mean, I know other teams did it, and again, Correa's a big bat to move, and we'll see how it shakes out. But just of the names that we knew were going to be moved or available, I don't know how you don't give them an A.
Right, and their prospect rankings are still in high regard, so they're right. It's like when you look at it across the board, they won in a lot of ways without actually, losing from like the prospect side. It's like that's the one gamble, and you look at other organizations and AJ Preller, Dave Dombrowski that just operate a little differently, and they're just like, yeah, I don't care about prospects that much. I want big league guys, and that's how I'm going to run my business. And that's great. It works. Doesn't always work. Obviously, San Diego hasn't done much with it, but it's a fascinating world, and the Mariners are looking very, very good right now in the big league side and in the minor league prospect side.
A reminder, we do want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks host the Chiefs on Friday, August 15th. And all you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Meanwhile, did the Mariners do enough to keep pace with the rest of the AL West? We'll get into that next with Charlie Furbush, who's in studio with us. It's Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
All together now.
Hey, Eugenio!
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes, indeed.
Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. And when you hear Harley Exteriors, think windows manufactured right here in Washington, specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest climate. And Olympic Series windows are offered exclusively by Harley Exteriors. And this is the window you want. It looks absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window. And these windows last up to 60 years. And they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. And they come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your home's resale value. Very affordable with options like zero payments and zero interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. And in July, and you better hurry, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. So think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident Book Series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at winning 4 tickets to see the Seattle Seahawks host the Kansas City Chiefs on August 15th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 30th through August 4th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Lowe's knows hot deals help you get the most out of summer. Get up to 30% off select major appliances and get it delivered as soon as next day. Plus, get up to 30% off select patio furniture, grills, outdoor power equipment, and more. These end-of-season savings won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Valid on eligible in-stock orders in select locations. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box, or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Trade deadline has come and gone, so Mariners making some big moves that got fans excited. I would imagine the vibe is going to be very electric out at T-Mobile tonight. I was just showing you guys a video of Geno saying, "Hey, Mariner fan," that the Mariners posted on their Twitter page. And
yeah.
He's just smiling ear to ear and ends it with, "Hey, good vibes only." And they just, same guy. And they showed him a video of him walking into the stadium and greeting the, some of the ushers, security people. Everybody's hugging him. Everybody's clapping. It just, what a cool vibe that's going to be out there. But do you look at this and feel like that they've done enough to compete? Because the Astros, they did acquire Carlos Correa. He comes back. I assume they're going to start to get healthier with Alvarez. They're going to get Pena back and get some of the guys that have been. They got a lot of guys on the IL. So they get him. They get infielder Ramon Urias out there as well. So the Texas Rangers added Merrill Kelly. They got a couple of relievers. So the only ones that didn't are the A's, and they traded Mason Miller and they traded Sears. So they got rid of players, but the two teams you're competing with, they also added. So who do you think? Do you feel like you're in a stronger position, or do you feel like, all right, we're still all in the same kind of neck and neck spot we were before?
No, I think it's definitely stronger. I think you mentioned the Rangers and Astros. Yeah, I think that's it would be naive to think going into today that they weren't going to make any moves, right? I mean, they are in it just as much as the Mariners are. So I think that's where, the urgency behind some of these phone calls gets, heightened pretty quickly, knowing, okay, this is it, right? We're not going to make too many more phone calls, and this is our final offer type deal. So, I think the Mariners did a good job getting exactly what they needed. I think what we said earlier, being greedy, could have went all in maybe on another high leverage reliever, but they also could be having another prospect in the minor leagues we don't know about right now that's throwing 96 and nasty stuff that can get called up in September and be that guy. Or, I said it before, and I guess I'll just say it again. It could be a Bryce Miller to the bullpen type deal, depending on where he's at, and just another guy that goes, okay, that's a great addition to our bullpen right now. But yeah, other than that, they did a good job. They addressed needs. And inside that clubhouse, everyone's happy. Everyone's excited. It's a kind of a, not that you're not excited and happy to, be in the big leagues and play every day, but it's just it's a different, I don't know, it's like a different feeling of excitement that's like, I'm ready. This is, okay, yeah, I'm so excited. Finally, that this is what we needed. I'm sure you felt that way a few different times about the football roster being like, there's a move that was made and everyone is in agreement of this move, and it makes the team better. So, doing what you can to win tonight. I think that's going to be the real message from like Dan Wilson and company is like, this is all great, but we just have to take down the Rangers tonight and, kind of take it one game at a time and allow Geno to bring the vibes and Cal to hit the homers and Julio to rob homers and Gilbert to strike out everyone. So, yeah, it's awesome. I think they won the deadline in every sense of it, and I think the Mariners should, pat themselves on the back for the work they did today.
The expectation to win, to sit in the clubhouse or the locker room and look around, and I'm thinking, well, when I was in high school, I think my team, we were undefeated, so we expected to win.
Were you a two-way guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was the other side? What'd you play?
Kicker.
Tight end.
Kicker.
He throws
Watch
a
your
kicker.
mouth, Bob. What's the matter with you? Oh, you know what? I did kick off one year. Because when you have a player that's, he does everything. I never came off the field, basically.
Obviously.
But I remember at Worcester High School expecting to win a little bit my senior year at Stanford. Like, we were 8-3, went to a bowl game. But, that's just a totally different feeling, right? I mean, that's the thing. I think that's the jump they made. And I just brought it up because you mentioned it, that you look around and go, we expect to win. I mean, that's a totally different mindset that I think people that have been on losing teams probably don't realize, right?
Absolutely. When you walk in and it's as nicely saying, it's win or die. Like go win and put everything on the line and leave it all out. We say leave it all out on the field, leave it all in between the lines. Whatever's going on in your life, whatever's happening, we know it's tough sometimes, but just give 100% all and try and help the team win. It's like leave it all out on the field. I'm sure say that on football all the time, right?
Yeah.
Win or die.
Yeah, right. Is that?
Can't believe Bob called me a kicker.
Was that?
And
better?
then you confess to being a kicker.
I mean, is it better than a punter? What's the? I mean, how do you rank the reputation?
Kickers are the goofiest.
Okay,
but I was the kickoff guy. Really.
So is that a third
still
position?
kicking it. That was your job.
I could kick it, but then I'd also run down and I could make a tackle. So not really a kicker.
LB slash KOG kickoff guy.
And then he'd write next to it, kicker who tackles.
Yeah,
that's
who
tackles. Hey, so I asked this question earlier to our texters, and I'll ask you. I think I know your answer, but now in light of everything they've done in terms of additions, Mariners are a playoff team. They make the playoffs, or they don't.
I think they make the playoffs. it's in a world of where they're at, where the American League is. I think you now have some guys that are going to put you over the edge, and I think you can fall back on the experience that some of the guys had in 22 when they made the playoffs. Like, okay, when September rolls around, and because right now you're still in a lot of ways, there's still a lot of games left, right? There's still a lot of games to play.
53.
Right. So with 53 games, it's like, I guess in a sense you have a little bit of leash to, and I don't expect this to happen, but like take a tumble and still recover, right? Where once you get into September and you realize that it's like there's 20 games left, it's like they become immensely amplified. And if you don't have experience in playing any type of these high pressure, high leverage, end of season, do or die type games, sometimes the game can speed up and you can fail and it can look bad. So having this experience and having guys like Cal, like JP that have been there before that allow other guys to, and obviously now you count Suarez and Naylor who've had some experience as well. It just allows everyone to kind of get in a better place mentally, physically when the games really, really count. And not to mention you got a guy like Dan Wilson who knows how to win a few ball games too. Running the show. But yeah, playoff team. I'd go all in on it, and I don't see why the Mariners wouldn't be there in the end.
I think he came up with their new slogan: "Win or die."
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That should be
pretty sweet. I like that.
Maybe instead, it's what was it? Play like a champion today, Notre Dame. Hit the thing. That's what the Mariners should win or die when they walk on the field.
There you go.
Right?
I love it.
Wouldn't that jack you up?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Or scare you. I better win.
Yeah.
This is going to go the wrong way.
Sounds like a Squid Games episode.
Charlie, we appreciate you, man. We'll do it again next week.
Looking forward to it.
There you go, everybody. Charlie Furbush in with us each and every week, spending an hour talking baseball. Great stuff as always. Before the Mariners start a huge series against the Rangers, it's time to catch up on another edition of the Cal Raleigh Show, the latest installment coming your way next with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
With another monster move on the eve of baseball's trade deadline.
The pitch to Geno. Swung on. A rocket to left field. Walk it off, Geno! Geno Suarez, the Mariner.
It's crystal clear. The Mariners are all in. Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
When
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Bump letting you know the Employee Pricing Plus event is on at West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Get the 2025 Ram 2500 for $9,000 off MSRP. Subject to credit approval. Offer ends July 31st. West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, part of the Hazelwood Auto Group.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at Seahawks.com/pro shop.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Mariners get back to it tonight after a tough road trip. They get back home for an absolutely huge 4-game series with the Texas Rangers, who are in town. They are tied with the Rangers in the AL West. They are tied with the Rangers for that third wild card spot. So looking to separate themselves in a good way. George Kirby on the hill tonight. He goes up against Kumar Rocker. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show right here, Seattle Sports on 710, 640. First pitch, by the way, and the lineup is out. Dan Wilson shaking things up with the lineup. Leading off is Randy Arozarena. Cal Raleigh moving up to the 2 spot. Julio Rodriguez hitting 3rd, followed by Naylor. Geno Suarez hitting 5th, followed by Polanco, Canzone. J.P. Crawford hitting 8th tonight. Cole Young rounding out the 9. Meanwhile, the big move being made in baseball, Carlos Correa being traded from the Minnesota Twins back to the Houston Astros, the only team he said he would waive his no-trade clause for. He waived it to make that deal happen. He's agreed to play third base, sharing the left side of the infield with Jeremy Pena.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Well, you look forward to this each and every week. A guy who's just taken the baseball world by storm, and that is Cal Raleigh. And we've got the very latest edition of the Cal Raleigh Show, which is presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians.
Here's Wyman, pitch to Cal, swinging a drive. Way out of here to right field. Cal Raleigh with a home run.
He's the best catcher in baseball, and he's on Seattle Sports Thursday afternoons all season long on Wyman and Bob. It's the Cal Raleigh Show.
Presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians.
With Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
Cal, the last time we were here, you talked about you liked it. It was a little bit more of kind of a pure form of baseball was the idea that I got from you. Being out here and not having the upper deck and being closer to the fans. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, now that you're back here and you did a full series there, how different is it in what you have available to you to prepare and going through your preparations, and how, or even during the game, what are some of the things that are different about playing in this park?
Nothing's really different. I mean, I guess the biggest thing that you run into is there's just no tunnel, or there's no tunnel down below the dugouts, and there's no cages below. That's really the only big difference. You know, baseball players are pretty easy. We're pretty simple. We're not, you know, for the most part, guys aren't high maintenance. They're not, you know, divas. You know, they're pretty simple. Just, you know, give us a field, try to give us some good lighting and a good batter's eye, and we're in good shape. So.
Okay, so you're not divas. Do you think there's a perception maybe you are?
I mean, I'm sure, you know, some people say all athletes, you know, anybody, you know, it can be some divas sometimes. So some people are, some people aren't. It's just part of the gig, and, you know, that's what people say sometimes.
So what sport has the biggest divas?
I'll let you guys figure that
one
out.
Oh, come on. This is why you have a show, Cal.
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I'll say is the flopping. Flopping can be a little excessive sometimes, so.
In any sport.
In any sport, the flopping.
But I think we know where it originated.
I'm not saying anything.
Did you play that sport as a little kid?
Yeah, maybe when I was really young.
You might have been a little kicker at some time?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, this has kind of been an odd thing for me. We were just talking about I left to go to the Hall of Fame for 5 days, and I come back, and the team is different. Josh Naylor is here. You've had 4 days with him as a teammate. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time to get to know, you know, new guys. You know, he seems awesome. You know, I know, just speaking from, you know, playing against him, he's one of the toughest outs in the league. You know, he puts together great at bats. He's an extremely good, you know, hitter with runners in scoring position. He drives in runs with the best of them without hitting home runs. You know, brings an edge, you know, to the team, to the plate, to the field. You know, even running bases. You know, not the fastest, but you know, he's smart and wants to get to second, wants to get to third. You know, just plays good winning baseball. So, like I said, just playing against him, he's a really tough out. Just a guy you don't want in the box when you're trying to pitch to.
What's been the first impression of him in the clubhouse and him in the dugout during games?
Yeah, I mean, he's extremely focused. Like I said, it takes time. So, you know, you're never gonna, you know, be best friends with somebody right off the bat. But he's been great. He's been great with the guys. You know, he cares. He wants to win. Like I said, brings a good professionalism to the game, and you know, he knows what he's doing. So I'm excited that we have him on our team.
Well, we're recording this. We're 2 days away from the trade deadline. What is it like in the clubhouse when this time of the year comes around?
You're just hoping you could, you know, help out the team as much as you can. You know, it's tough because, you know, some guys obviously are looking at it through different lens than others. You know, some guys want to keep their spot, and some guys like where they're at, and you know, but that's just part of the business. It's crappy sometimes, and it's a hard game, and but at the end of the day, you want to be able to, you know, improve your team in whatever aspect you can, and you know, we'll see what happens in the next 48 hours. Hopefully we can continue to add and continue to get better. And but for now, it's just, you know, guys are just trying to do their job and, you know, take care of business and with what we have right now, and, you know, not worry about any of that stuff.
But I probably think it's probably hard not to look at the phone or the TV or things like that when the scroll is going across the bottom.
Right, yeah, I mean, you know, guys look, and it's going to pick up more in the next, you know, couple hours, days. It's just how it goes, so, you know, but like I said, you know, we'll take care of what we need to do right now, and we'll let Jerry and Justin and those guys handle the rest, so.
Which play did Ben make last night that most got your eye?
That Rooker play was really impressive. I mean, you know, to get to it was impressive, and then to spin around and get the out was, you know, was special. So he made some unbelievable plays last night. He's been great all year at the hot corner, and he's definitely made a difference over there defensively. And, you know, he's been really good. So, you know, hats off to him, playing a great defense and continuing to do it.
Did you ever play at third base?
I played, yeah, in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my kind of second position.
What kind of appreciation do you have for what they do over there?
Yeah, I mean, it just, you know, it's a lot of instincts because, you know, they call it a hot corner for a reason. It's, you know, balls get hit at you pretty hard, pretty fast, especially when you get a guy who's throwing sinkers, changeups, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a tough position, and, you know, he's playing it really well and doing a great job, especially for it being his first year. And you know, like I said, he's carrying his weight with the glove, and it's been really impressive to watch.
Talked with JP a little bit about it, and he has said that he's done everything he can to help kind of get the young guys like feeling comfortable where they're at and out of their shells a little bit. I think there's been a lot of video games that have been played that have been part of it, and just things that he has been able to do. And he says he sees that confidence with Ben in particular really starting to grow. I love his aggressiveness out on the field. How comfortable do you see him being out there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're ever very comfortable as a rookie in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it takes time, takes years to get that, but, you know, it's our job to kind of, you know, create that environment for them, and you know, it's a happy medium. You know, we want them to be comfortable. We want them to play well, to be, you know, the best they can be on the field. You know, all while, you know, give them a little bit of hard time off the field just because they're rookies, but that's anywhere. That's not just here. So everybody goes through it, and it's part of the game, and it's a fun time.
Now, Ichiro, in his Hall of Fame speech at the very beginning, talked about being a rookie for the third time. The first time was when he became a professional ball player. The second time, I think, was when he came to MLB, and now the third time is he is the rookie Hall of Famer. And he said, please go easy on me, guys. I'm 51 years old, and I don't want to have to put on the Hooters costume again. I don't think there's very much of the costuming going on anymore, but what are some of the little baseball things that you guys do to... I know that you attack people doing too many crossword puzzles. What else is there?
You know, you give them a hard time. You make sure that guys are always prepared, and you make sure that, you know, they're little things, carry the speaker around for the guys, so we got music on the bus. You know, you want to basically, you know, just little things like that. You know, obviously you've heard that with the beer showers, which turned into, it seems like condiment showers. Yes. With ketchup and mustard, and it gets pretty nasty. So celebratory things like that. You know, showing up, you know, first to the field. It's just learning, and like you said, you know, respecting the veteran players and making sure you're doing things the right way, and you're handling your business. And they've been great. They've been awesome about that, and it's just something you have to learn. And I think it just helps with becoming a professional. And, you know, there's many ways guys go about it, but, you know, making sure you're teaching guys so that they can end up ultimately passing it on when they become older veterans as well. So.
And you're enjoying passing it on?
Yeah, you know, it's a fun time. So like I said, it's a happy medium of, you know, we want to have fun, and we want to, you know, keep it light, and while also getting the best out of these guys and teaching them to, you know, ultimately become professionals.
Did you have a dress-up day? Were they doing that when you were? Yeah. What were you?
Yeah. Oh, I had a couple. One year was like a sailor, on a ship, sailor, like old timey with the hat and the. Mm-hmm. So that was one year. I want to say another year it was like a police officer.
Okay.
Yeah, the clothes were a little too tight, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a pretty sight, let me tell you. So
Well, at least you had friends with you.
yeah, so we had a little Texas outing earlier this year with some of the guys. So they were some Cowboys and got to
Oh,
wear
I missed that. Huh. I was
Yeah.
asleep at the wheel on that one.
Yeah, they get to wear the hats and the vest and the.
I remember
The
Andres
chaps,
Munoz. Okay, totally was not. You guys are up front. We don't always see it. You get on the bus before we see it. Very sneaky. I just remember Andres Munoz on his dress-up day. He was a cowboy, and he
Yeah.
looked like Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
I literally thought it was Robbie Ray
The
with
hair,
the hair
yeah.
and the cowboy hat, and I'm like, why'd they dress him up like Robbie Ray?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, it's a cowboy.
It's a cowboy.
Did you watch any of the Hall of Fame ceremony?
I did not. We were playing, I believe.
Okay.
Right?
But you heard some of it, I heard. That you
Yeah,
did
I
hear
went back and
and
saw Ichiro's speech and Billy Wagner was Dave Parker's son, I believe.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. What's it like to see Ichiro up there? He's a guy who's in the outfield playing catch and stretching every day, and all of a sudden he's up there with the greatest players in the history of the game, literally right behind him.
Yeah, I mean he's home. He's where he deserves to be, and super excited for him, and I think he's probably happy it's all over now, and so I'm happy for him. He's well deserving of it. He's, like I said, he's where he belongs with the best in the game of all time, and really cool that I get to see him and be a part of his post-career journey.
It's crazy when you think there are a few others behind him, too, that you get to see on a regular basis. One of them a hitting coach, and Edgar Martinez. Another one, Ken Griffey Jr., will make the flybys and give the hugs and be great. It's pretty interesting history.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on those catchers, too. We saw Johnny Bench when we were there, which was
That's
nice,
right.
of course. Last one, so when we get home, and you're starting to become more of a Seattleite, so you might know a little bit about Seafair. That's going to take place when we get home, and so you'll see the Blue Angels flying overhead this weekend. And the Hydro is out on the water. First of all, would you ever, if the opportunity presented itself, hey, you want to ride with the Blue Angels? You can go.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. It's such a cool experience. So I don't know. I definitely don't want to be driving the thing. So.
Well, that would not be good.
Yeah. So it would be a cool opportunity, though. I mean, it's always a cool thing to see those going on.
Yeah.
It's crazy how impressive those, pilots are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see them, too, when they come to the park. And like, these are the people who actually do this. That's
I know.
really something.
It is cool.
You might do a Blue Angel, and I'm just kind of thinking at some point in your life, maybe you have done something that's a little bit on the more thrill-seeking scale. I know you didn't want to climb the ladder at Fenway, so I'm not sure where you fall on that, but then I think, you know what, you sit behind the plate, you stand in at the plate, you're facing objects being hurled at you 95 miles an hour plus over hundreds of times a night.
Yeah.
There's something in there. Have you done something before? Have you bungee jumped when you were a kid?
Never bungee jumped. I've never been a fan of heights. So, typically when heights are involved, I'm not super thrilled about it. Trying to think of thrill-seeking things. I've jumped off some pretty tall cliffs into some water. Done that. I've done. I ding-dong ditched. I guess that was kind of...
Excuse me? What's that?
Ding-dong ditch?
No, we don't have that.
Where you go and you knock or ring their doorbell a bunch of times, then you run, and then they answer the door, nobody's there, and it's not a good thing to do. So I'm not
it's a kid thing.
Not telling kids to do that.
Kid thing in a good neighborhood that you've been in a long time.
When I was young, that was super. I was like, your heart was beating fast. That was the fun thing to do. So I don't know pretty boring guy, honestly. I'm not.
Do you ride alongside in a race car someday?
Sure, I'll do that.
That's not in the air. That's.
Yeah.
Hydroplane is a little bit more grounded. Maybe you could do that out on the lake.
Yeah, I could do that. Something like that. I don't know. Never really been.
It's okay.
Too crazy about that stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Who do you think is the first teammate that would go up with the Blue Angels?
Maybe. Who do you think? Don't ask me.
I can think of the last. I just thought of the first question. It seems like they have a little bit of crazy in them. That
Maybe,
one?
who's that?
Robles.
Oh, yeah, Vic would be a good one. Vic or
Cole Young.
Cole Young? He's kind of boring, though. He seems kind of boring. Trying to think of a bullpen arm. Maybe Trent Thornton. There you go.
Okay, he's sneaky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put anything past him.
He's got some crazy in him.
Yes, he does. Least likely.
Least likely? Logan Gilbert, probably.
Well, he wouldn't fit, so he'd be out of he's out of the pool to start with, but
Yeah.
I guess a number of teammates would be.
Talk about the most boring guy ever.
Now, that's not nice, Cal.
Oh. Sorry, I can say it.
Might have to go to him for the counterpoint
I can
on
say it
that one.
because we're best friends, so.
For how long? No, I'm kidding. All right, Cal, have a good week.
Thank you.
There you go, Cal Raleigh, latest edition of the Cal Raleigh Show. Just throwing Logan under the table, as Lefko likes to say.
Yeah, that might have been the best interview there.
Yeah,
by Shannon. Good questions there at the end. I like it when he kind of gives you a little glimpse into the crap that they give each other in the clubhouse, and yeah, it's good stuff. Well, I was thinking about that. What, like the most daring thing I've ever done?
Have you ever ding-dong ditched?
Ding-dong ditched, yeah. What about
I haven't heard that term in a long time. I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, is he
Did he
talking
really
about
say
ringing
that?
the doorbell? Is that really what he's talking about? What a risky guy, risk taker he is, man.
How about a flaming bag of dog poop
on the doorstep?
On the
then
doorstep.
You ding-dong ditch. There you go.
Successfully stomp it out.
Oh.
And then, but you know what? When I was in, I was in Bali. We did the parachute thing behind the boat.
Oh, is that parasailing? Is that what it is? I've done that. I did that in Mexico. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm not for jumping off things, though. I wouldn't do the bungee jump. And I'm not jumping out of a plane.
The communication wasn't great because at one point the guy was like doing an X thing with his arms, and I was supposed to pull, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? And so we ended up like landing in the water, and you want to land on the beach.
Yeah, our guy had a whistle, so every time he blew the whistle, and then you'd pull. Yeah, he'd tell you which arm to pull. Like he'd blow the whistle, and then he'd wave like the right arm or the left arm, and you would.
Well, and then I had my son, and he was like it was a duo thing.
Oh, okay.
And so like he was kind of in between my legs, and like when we got up there, I was like, this is my only son. Like I was squeezing him, and he's like, Dad, I can't breathe. But yeah, I got and then I got down onto the beach, and I was like, what the hell does this mean? The X thing. I'm like, what do you never went through that?
Yeah, we could have covered that before I got up there in the air.
But I think that's like maybe the most daring thing I've done. So
I love that ding dong ditch.
Ding dong ditch.
That was so daring.
Yeah.
I
what
love
if you get
it.
caught?
I love it. If you missed any part of the Cal Raleigh Show, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Little programming note for tomorrow. We're going to be broadcasting live from T-Mobile Park. Now, we're not going to be at Edgar's. We're going to be up in the booth. And joining us to open the show will be Mariners GM Justin Hollander.
Awesome.
So looking forward to that conversation and giving him some props. Giving him some props, fans. Let him know. Fans he'll know. I mean, I think it's going to be evident in the building tonight.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the first introduction when Geno steps up to the plate.
Same.
He's batting fifth tonight, in case you're wondering. He is in the lineup, playing third base, hitting fifth.
Do you know where's Naylor?
I think he's hitting fourth because they shook everything up. If you guys are just, let me pull it up here again just to make sure I'm accurate. But yeah, Dan Wilson shaking up the lineup tonight. So your leadoff hitter is Randy Arozarena. Cal Raleigh is hitting second. Julio is hitting third, so he flip-flopped those two. Naylor's hitting fourth.
Okay.
Suarez fifth. Polanco DHing. Canzone. Crawford moved down to eighth, and then Cole Young hitting ninth. And George Kirby obviously starting. So, yeah, that's a little shakeup to the lineup, a new addition to the lineup. It's going to be very interesting night. The Mariners are hosting the Rangers, game one of the 4-game series, and the T-Mobile Park roof will be open. It's nice and warm outside. There are some clouds happening out there, but it's still very warm. Perfect night for baseball. That's the Mariners Roof Report, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. So there you go.
So much more exciting now that you know that they're all the way in. But I think you pointed out, last night, Bob, the fact that, okay, now it's all on the players and it's all on Dan Wilson and the coaching. So, they did their part.
They did.
Ownership and management did. So
yeah, there are a lot of us. Like I said, I lead the charge in complaining about what they don't do or what they didn't do in the offseason, what they haven't done at trade deadlines, and this is not one of those moments. You have to, even if you're the biggest critic, pessimist, skeptic, whatever you want to call yourself, you got to tip the cap and say, hey, well done.
I think we had one pessimist.
Yeah, there were one or two that I think because we were so effusive in our praise, they felt the need to come out and say,
of course they did.
Slow down. They're not making the playoffs. Yeah, maybe we won't. Check back in at the end of this 53-game run. Got 53 games left. Starts tonight. See what they do with them. But those texts are there forever. So don't come back and go, see, I told you they'd make it.
That's right. We'll hunt you down.
We know better. We know better. That's right. All right, that's going to do it for us. I want to thank our guests today, Boye Mafe and Charlie Furbush, for joining us on the program. Again, a reminder that Justin Hollander will join us live at T-Mobile Park tomorrow to open the show at 2 p.m. If you missed any part of today's show, head to the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab. Click on our picture, and it's right there waiting for you. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
All together now.
Hey, you hate
They acquire now the best bat available in Eugenio Suarez. They've already acquired the other best bat.
Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
Don't miss Geno's return to the Mariners lineup tonight. Mariners, Rangers. First pitch at 6:40. Pregame at 5:30. The push to the playoffs is on. The home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Since time immemorial, the Puyallup tribe of Indians have lived on what is now called Puget Sound. The Puyallup tribe is a sovereign nation of more than 6,000 members and one of the largest employers in Pierce County. Today, the Puyallup tribe continues to serve its members and community with generosity and is committed to building a sustainable way of life for future generations. Learn more at puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
The Davis Law Group Charity Golf Tournament heads to the Prospector Course in Suncadia on August 20th. Proceeds benefit Life Support I-90, funding life-saving training and equipment for the first responders on call every day, covering the thousands of travelers heading over the I-90 corridor east of Snoqualmie Pass through Cle Elum and the surrounding areas. Tee times and sponsor packages are limited, so sign up today at dlggolf.com. That's dlggolf.com, because the life you save could be your own.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle